Karibuni sana.
What channel we on?
Yes, on Karibuni sana. Hope you guys are doing amazing. We are on both channels. Keith,
Okay,
we are
cool.
on Blackwood Fire Network. We are on Keith Newsam. We are on TikTok, both channels. We are on Rumble. We are on radio station. We are on Speaker. We are everywhere. Karibuni sana to everyone who's joining us, and of course, welcome to another episode of the Africa Today Show. Shout out to Dreadlocks, Asante Sana for tapping the screen of TikTok. I also see we got a twin twice Maggie. Okay. It's coming in with this playlist.
Don't forget this. You're not the only one get to play your music.
Okay. Shout out to Peter.
I'm doing my kitty dance.
Okay.
I know, Joe, but don't be jealous. Not a good look on you, baby girl.
Well, shout out to everybody. That's Karibuni. Shout out to Kirungez. It's such a tough name over there. Karibu Sana. Shout out to Calvo. Shout out to Peter. Everyone with us on TikTok. Welcome once again. And of course, I hope you guys have had a beautiful week. And I'm wishing you nothing but just a beautiful weekend. Hope you can stick through till the end of the session. Shout out to Fino. Hope you're doing amazing. Nice to see everyone with us. And also for those who are with us on YouTube, Karibuni Sana. Kindly hit that like button as you tune in. And in case you shall be catching the show on a replay mode, ensure you also leave some comments down below as you get to enjoy the information we're giving you. Literally information, because we're here to get informed. Karibuni Sana. How are you, Kate?
I'm Asante Sanin, whatever the hell that means. I'm good.
You know what Asante Sana means.
And it's Friday. Um, um,
It's Friday. Did you take a shower before we start? Because I see some fun facts coming with, people showering. How many times humans should shower.
okay,
Did you take a
watch out.
shower?
But last night I did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't take one this morning yet. I ain't doing that, but took one when I took one last night. I didn't take one yet. Not again yet. I probably need to. I don't think I would smell not going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, apparently, according to scientists, humans only need to shower every 2-3 days. Showering every day can cause irritated and cracked skin. I don't know when Africans showering every day we've gotten cracked skin.
Nah, that's white people
But
shit. That's they
that is.
whenever they do shit like that, they study them, not us. You understand?
Mm.
You should take a shower
Well,
every two or
apparently,
3 days.
apparently this is trending in Kenya because I see Kenyan blogs have posted this and people are reacting towards it. People have something to say about it.
I
In
hope they do. They probably say nobody wants to be stinking around people that stink. You took a shower in 3 days. Come on, because you're cracked skin, but your butthole stinks. I ain't got
Mhm.
cracked skin. Look at my skin. But your butthole stinks. You stink. Yeah, but my skin ain't cracked though. What? Get out of here.
There's one Kenyan who said, this one we know, and that's why we only have 3 months for shower, not 6. We only have 3 months to shower. What do you mean? In a year, you only shower 3 months.
3 months.
And then there's someone else who also said exactly. I've been waiting for this confirmation. This is an African.
Yeah. There's a lot, there's a lot of stinking, boy. Yeah. Happy to be funky.
It's
Happy to stink.
crazy. It's crazy, man. I also see another one says that explain why men have good skins while women we try all skincare routines, but still our face is messed up, And you tell
No,
us
no, you
showering
don't.
is
Because as a woman, you have different hormonal problems, maybe, but women, that's why you shouldn't be drinking and smoking. That fucks up your skin. Men too. It makes you old. So eat the right diet. And also what you consume, you eat has effect on your skin. So if you don't get enough water, you want to be hydrated a lot. Your hydration has something to do with how um, beautiful your skin is, your water. So
Mhm.
drink a lot of water if you want beautiful skin. It's not Africans always had the best looking skin because they drank a lot of water. No, they drank natural stuff and ate natural food. So if you do that, you have beautiful skin. You know, it's not nothing hard. You know, don't
Shout
put a
to
lot.
you, Fat. I see we got Fats in the building. He also says, good day. I'm from New York City. Nice seeing you. Thank you so much for
What's
tuning
going
in,
on?
Fat.
What part of New York City you from? What borough you in? You in Manhattan? You in fucking Brooklyn? You in the Bronx? You in Staten Island? What part? Or are you in Queens? What part of New York City you in? What borough you in? Shout out your borough, brother. Where you at? Queens, Staten Island, Brooklyn, the Bronx, or Manhattan? Where you at? Let's
Yes,
shout you out. Where's he at?
yeah.
Manhattan. Where's
Let
he at?
us know. We'd love to hear from you as we get started with today's show. Before we get into the main conversation and everything we shall be talking about all over, I want to welcome everyone once again on YouTube. And as you tune in again, smash that like button and subscribe to the Kate Newsome channel in case you're there. And, you know, so that you can get notified because we did lose the main
Let me know
channel
if
that we
you hear a slight buzz, yo. Is it buzzing on my end or your end?
there.
You hear
Buffering.
like a slight no, not a buffer, like a slight buzz, like a buzz. You hear that?
No,
Okay. All right. Maybe just
no.
me. Okay. Hmm.
Maybe from outside.
Oh, maybe that's
Probably.
it.
But
Okay.
anyway, karibuni sana. As we get started with today's conversation, I'll take you just a little bit to Africa before we get into the diaspora, what is happening. And I want to start with something very positive among what I've been talking about on the East Africa community, and its agenda. spoken about some African countries actually joining the East Africa community, and we've seen countries like Ethiopia, they did apply into joining the region. Somali also did apply a few months into joining the East Africa community, and finally, they have been granted the access. I see that finally Somali has joined the East Africa community states, the East African states, and they're saying that Somali officials.
I'm surprised by Somali. Somali want to be Arabs. I'm surprised they don't want to do it. But they got turned down. They tried to join the Arab League and then find out about the East African community. When Somali, see,
But those are the fake Somalis, right?
huh?
Those are the fake Somalis you're talking about.
Well, you got the Somalis, you got the Bantu Somalis who are being oppressed now over there. The other Somalis oppressed the Bantu Somalis. So yeah, I don't, demographic of the country. I don't know if that. I don't know. I don't think the Bantus are the majority no more. I think the mixed Arab motherfuckers are. So I know they tried to join the Arab League and they told them no. Yeah, no.
Is it because they got mixed races? Let me ask. Okay, I thought we've spoken about where mulattoes, if they happen to what we have right now happening in Africa, the mixed race that is, an agenda as well.
The mixed kids always come back and usually destroy your society. That's a book called.
But why is it that they're being rejected? Let's say because I'm certain Somalis will find that most of them have the maybe the half breed of Arabs and all that.
Yeah, they know that, and that's why they consider themselves more Arabs than black, and they work against black people. They work against black people, so they don't want to be called. They don't like to be called African. They like to be called.
What I'm getting from you is that there's a 50-50 chance of mulattoes also being denied.
Of course, they don't want to accept. A lot of times, these fake Arabs, not even real. The original Arabs are black or Africans. So let's say same way the original Hebrews are African. So people come down and take over your culture, then claim to be you now, and then they get mad if you claim to be that thing that they took from you. So since the Africans now don't have any power, no one. That's what it's the same schism. It's like a schism. It's called a schism, confusion, right? Same thing you have an African Americans now. Everybody wants to be a damn Indian. I'm not an African. Why don't you take a DNA test? Fuck a DNA test. I don't trust them things because it takes you right back to Africa. That's why.
Yeah.
It don't take you to be no Indian. So since Africans don't have any power, Joby, those Africans become powerful, then everybody, I'm African. I'm an African too.
Did you hear the video Katie shared on our show, the Pan African Diary of Museveni? Museveni is crazy.
He's a moron. I listen to things about he took away the Indians. The Indians are better in business. The Africans don't do it. The Africans were farming and doing something. He is so disrespectful, so disgusting, so traitorous. This dude's a president of a whole African country telling you Africans are fucked up. We need Indians to come back here and build businesses because we're too stupid. That's why they put his ass in power. He's a moron. Dude ain't even finished elementary school. He's a moron. That's why he's there. He's an idiot. Disgusting. Listen to that shit I let you guys show. So moronic and disgusting. Dude's a president of a country. He's a moron.
He claimed literally Indians are our very own. And I'm not surprised because, again, as we speak of East Africa, I don't know what is happening because Kenya also has Indians as part of the now.
These Africans, the British put them everywhere. It's not. Got Indians in Ghana, Indians in Nigeria. They came when the British conquered. They brought the Indian as a buffer class. Brought it in South Africa, in Zimbabwe, in Kenya. Everywhere you got the British Empire, they brought the Indians in. So you got a remnant of them, like they was in Uganda, then Kenya, they're in Zimbabwe, in South Africa. They're in racist the shit in South Africa because they're racist. Black people. That way you're just Melina telling the truth. The Indians are more racist than the white people. Yo, shit. You got this dumbass Museveni. We brought about the white people. You got some Indian flunky. Yes, His Excellency. Yes, I brought you back, you goopy Indian. Ain't you happy that you control everything while Africans are impoverished? They're too stupid to run businesses. That's what this moron believes. That's what he's thinking. He's an idiot. Well, he's in power. He's a moron. Despotic moron. Dangerous. Man, this dude's the president of the whole country, and he's an idiot, and he hates black people. He's an idiot. That's the only, and the sad fact about it, the Ugandans are so backward and stupid. Is what you get. You won't do nothing. This dude's been in power for 40 years. You're impoverished. You have an uprising. You ever threw his ass out? Said something about African people. He's telling you that the Indians are better than you coming in your own country. They don't do none of that shit in India. They got black people in it that they stole out of Africa from slavery, from Kenya, from Uganda, over in India today. You'll never know Indian president ever tell you in India today, oh, we need to bring back our black people and put them in businesses because our people are too stupid. You'll never hear that. Never, ever, ever, ever. They got black people in India. Okay? These are facts. From slavery. They were taken over. And anyway, the original Indians are black. Were from Africa, the original one. Before they got invaded by these fucking Davidian Indian-looking motherfuckers who come from the central steppes of Asia. They got invaded. India is the color. India is indigo, black. Indigo is the color black. Why the country's named that. The Ganges River is named after a black person from the Sudan, from the old Kush Empire, the biggest river in India, named after an old Kushite king. So, but you'll never hear no Indian say this, because their whole religion is based on racism, and black people supposed to do about this. Their religion, Hinduism, says black people. I almost said N. I didn't say it. I almost say N word, but I haven't. That black people are supposed to be on the bottom and relegated to bad conditions. That's their own goopy religion. Their own religion is racist. When you got this moron talking about, chase the Indians. What? Yeah, because the Indians were given businesses over African people and treated them like shit in Uganda. The same way they treat them like shit in Kenya. And shout out to Jomo. He was trying to get rid of their ass too back in the 60s. That I found out before. Huh?
Was it? I don't know about that.
Yeah, sure. Go look it up. Say, had you shit on the video, say, Kenya, say, back in the 19th.
That's why I was headed. That's why I was headed just a minute before I look at it. That's why I was headed and I'd questioned the East Africa community, what we have and when it was formed by Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya. I bet during Idi Amin, there's how many presidents has Uganda had? Because I always try to look at
not many, because you got despots. Because you had Idi Amin, he was on there for 10 years. And Museveni been there for what, 40 years? So we had like 5 presidents, maybe 4, since they got independent. I don't know.
Let me see. Jomo Kenyatta.
Jomo was kicking them out too in the late 60s. You gotta just say all you gotta do is type on YouTube, say Kenya kicks out the Indians in the 1960s.
Okay. Let me see.
Fact is, you're not supposed to know that these people are racist as shit. You know they racist. You know they're racist. Kenyan kicks out Indians. Let me see. Kenyan.
That's not. I don't know that is not literally known in majority part of the history.
The 19th.
It's not really.
19. Of course, you're not gonna know because they don't want you to know. Here we go. Right. Okay, let me share my screen exactly. UK Indian migration exactly kicking them out. So it says UK Kenya Indian migration. Yeah. So this when Jomo was kicking them out. Let me play this real quick. Share my screen. So it was 1968. Let me share my screen real quick. So because they're racist. Why would you have people in your country that hate you, that do business and benefit getting rich off of you in your country? Why would you do that? Only the African does. Only the African does shit like this.
Because, like I said, actually, if you look at most of the cases we've read of white people, white women being found in, let's say, in regions like Uganda. We've seen so many, like the recent case which Maria was reporting. This white woman was found in Uganda who has injected children with the VACCINEs, and now majority
Yeah.
of them are dead. 100 and something of children are dead
And
because of
more
someone
than
came in as a
thousands. More
missionary.
than not 100%. Thousands of that. And
Yeah,
and she's back in America living her best life. Not put in prison. Because you worship white people and white people control these countries. They told Museveni, nigga, you better not do nothing. Yes, she killed a bunch of Africans. So what?
these people have come. Actually, this is clear because I want to give this encounter from what we saw in Tanzania. Yeah, when we met these Germany men,
Mm-hmm.
they we questioned them about them if they are, acquiring the property, not setting up a directional site, and they said it's expensive. And literally, you can see she has a woman from Kenya who's from Mombasa
Yeah.
stored there, and he won't let her even be because he needs direction on how to move within even Tanzania itself. Because mind you, Mombasa and Tanzania actually it's not really that far
They're
from
close.
Zanzibar to
No,
Mombasa.
no, they're
It's not
not.
really that far.
They're both. It's the same. Joey, that was the same community. There were no borders. That's the same people.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the Swahili coast. It's called.
So
Yeah. So
what I picked from that, and most of the stories I'm discovering day by day, is that these people come here to seek opportunity. They come poor, but
yeah,
because of the history we have as African people, and which is unchanged, we pick them with love. We show them direction, and this is how they're getting literally rich off us.
yes, 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 yes,
And they use
yes,
the naive ones, just use the naive ones.
yes. People come to Africa. They didn't come to Africa to get poor. They can be poor back in India, poor back in Europe. Coming to Africa to be poor. They know Africans are docile. And you're going to give them every bit benefit to rule you. You believe everybody, yeah, not you, Joe, but most Africans believe other people are supposed to rule them and they are their betters. They believe that in their head. Talking
I
about
think
mine.
after Arabs, Indians are the most cruel. After
Yeah,
Arabs, after Arabs, Indians literally are the most cruel.
yeah, they hate
Thank
us.
you.
They hate us. Yeah. This style is on point. This right. Yeah, she looks nice. She looks nice. She always, but she'll tell she always look nice. So I better not say nothing.
Thank you, Jibajapa, and Karibu Sana.
You can't even
It's
compliment. You can't even compliment her conceited ass. He said, "Joe, you look really nice. I always look nice since I was born."
I don't say that though.
You
I
told me
don't
that that day.
say.
You told me that day when you was you had your hair a certain way that would look nice as hell. Like, damn, Joe, damn, you look nice as hell. I always look nice since I was born.
My bad, man. I learn how to take compliments. I think I'm not also used to compliments that much,
Um,
but I learn how to take compliments. But as we move on from what is happening in Somalia, personally, I wish them the best. That's all I'll say before I move forward. I still want to understand why the East Africa community will not work for the East Africa, the
but
then the countries.
because it's still puppets. See, East Africa, if you had good leadership, East Africa, just as a community alone, is that part of Africa would be a superpower.
Exactly.
But
We actually even have I think, a very big chance of convincing the rest of the countries, uh, you know, joining, like, let's say, like the West. We have the West
yeah,
part of it,
The
we have
ECOWAS,
us,
that's
then we have
ECOWAS
the Central.
Central. You had the south. You have the southern one called SADC. SADC is the southern African states: South Africa, Zimbabwe, Botswana, Namibia, Angola. So that's SADC in
Yeah.
in Zambia. That's the
Mhm.
SADC in Mozambique,
Mhm.
Malawi, uh, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, Angola. So that's your southern Africa. It's called SADC. We got the east. So they're trying. So if you do with regions right, but they don't never really unite. It's just a fake. It's fake. It's like the East African thing is fake because no one wants to actually give power to it and make it a power. Just like the ECOWAS shit is some fake shit. It's, you got that, and the ECOWAS is Ghana, Nigeria, Togo, Benin, Cameroon, Ivory Coast. Of course, it was Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, but they tried to attack them. Tried to attack them for trying to get free, trying to get real freedom. kind of, kind of, kind of damn community is this? You trying to attack me? I'm trying to get free. You supposed to be a West African bloc? like, like, don't make any sense. Um, so that would be a good way of unite all of Africa, make these first individual stages if they were actually free countries. They're not. They're all puppet states. They actually had a real East African community that benefited East Africans. It would start because you can start integrate all trade within these countries, open up trade to everybody. So now you're going back. So nobody ever be hungry there because you got Congo can grow anything. So then you would stop the conflict in Congo. You would go and get rid of Museveni and get rid of Kagame. They had to go. You would unalive their ass. They'd have to go. It would be no debate. It had to go. They destabilized the goddamn Congo. You got Tanzania, Congo. So all the riches of Congo could now be mined correctly by everybody. So then you have free movement. Okay, should be no damn visas or no passports to go between Uganda, Congo, Tanzania. Those borders are gone. So now we got free movement. We figure out. So now you're working toward maybe like an East African president. Okay, we don't want all these to be presidents. We want one person to be president of East Africa. See, this before you get the whole African thing united. So if you unite this East Africa, you say, okay, Congo has enough land to feed everybody. Let's put our farming sector there. Kenya's big in technology. Let's put our research and development in Kenya. Kenya's going to be what they call it, like in America. We got in California, it's called what's that shit called in California? Jibber jabber, when they make all the computers, Apple and Google. What's that shit called? What's that shit in California? No, okay. What's that shit called in California? I'm out of brain, but I don't get what's it called in California? It's called that's responsible for all the tech. It's called help me out, somebody. What is the thing in California called? With Apple and Google and all that shit. What's it called? What's it called? Remember the brain part, I can't believe this. The Valley. What is it called in California? What is it called? It's called yeah, exactly. They can link up. That's it. What the hell is that? You hear that?
Yeah. The laptop.
Yeah, Silicon Valley. That's the name. I couldn't remember. There you go. Thank you. Silicon Valley. I could. I'm about to say Napa Valley. Some valley. Silicon means computers and iPhones and telephones. You got your telephones and stuff. They start creating these cell phones and all this Google shit, Apple and all that stuff, and Android. So Kenya can be the tech giant of East Africa, and then eventually be the tech giant of all of Africa. So you move. What's going on, Ricky? How you doing, brother? Yeah, Silicon Valley. I was at a brain fart, y'all. So thanks, Jim. Thanks, thanks, Ricky. So I'm saying, so if you have certain sectors, this is in East Africa. Okay, you have agriculture and mining in the Congo, right? You make sure it's clean. You make sure nobody polluting shit and all that research. Then you said, you know what? We're going to create an East African community. East African currency. See, before you do a whole African currency, you do East African, and it's going to be perpetuated with the stuff, our minerals underground, which is still the richest on the planet. So now you integrate. So you have Nairobi and all that shit as your tech center. So you start creating one military. You probably put that in Tanzania again, like it used to be. Tanzania was responsible for getting everybody free. So they got that. They got that already in their system of having military and getting other African countries free. So then you what's going on? So then I'll be back on tonight too, guys. I'll be back on 3 nights in a row. I'm home now. I'll be back on tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. As long as my kids don't come back over here. but my sons came over last weekend. So that's what happened. You can't say I'm doing a show and damn my grandkids, damn you, dick, damn you little kids. So I couldn't do that. So anyway, so see, and no one wants to do that. It'd be easy to do because now you're not dealing with all of Africa. You're just dealing with a section of Africa, and you can become a superpower overnight almost.
Exactly. That's the same thing. I think the same explanation you've given is the same thing I gave. Where we need to first clean the messes of who we are, especially like you just described in the East Africa community. We have a very big chance. The whites, if also they formed a group, they also have a very big chance. The Central as the same way. Then clean the mess as we get to form a
Yeah,
one tribe.
because all minerals you got South Sudan is full of oil, so you got no reason not to have gas and oil cheaply. You got that there. You got all your
That's why
minerals.
we have war. That's why you see
I
there's
know,
a war.
but you as a community, you come in and stop that. You create a real military, so you would have white people creating fake militias. So shout out to Captain Molly. See, Molly's killing everybody that was a fake militia. Molly's in there killing all these damn terrorists and freeing anybody. Now they're getting free. They got France and America backing these fake terrorists. And as you see, they've had tunnels. They got these tunnels all throughout Mali where they was underneath the ground, these big huge tunnels. They were stealing minerals and shit, and then flying it to Ghana. Remember, Ghana's got a base. Ghana's got a base that the Ghanaian, that's American, that the Ghanaians airport, part of the airport the Ghanaians can't even go to. Who would even sign a deal like that? How would I allow you to have an airport that I can't see, can't inspect? Who would even do something like that? Nobody. Only the goopy African. Talking about you got an airport I'm not allowed to go. My people can't come and investigate. So they steal it through there. They fly it to Ghana and they fly it out to America and Europe. That's how they do it. But so yeah, so
It's gonna stop because I see what Mali is doing is really amazing. You saw yesterday they did sign a deal with Russia on
yeah.
gold refinery. So
See, Russia
that is,
helped Africa. Russia had helped Africa before, but Russia you can't be corrupt because Russia doesn't really need what Africa has. Russia has all that shit too. Russia has gold. They don't have diamonds, but they have everything else. They don't need Russia's huge. Russia has resources. It's not coming to Africa to steal any resources. So when they helped the Africans in the 60s get free, the Africans wanted to be corrupt. So that's why the Russians helped you get free. Then you went back to the same people that colonized you because these puppets wanted to be puppets and wanted to be corrupt. Russia said, no, you can't steal money. You got to build real shit. So, fuck these Russians. Go back to the West and the IMF. Hey, IMF, can we get loans? You make me rich, my family. Yeah, we make you rich, nigga, but everybody else gonna be poor, right? That's right. I don't give a shit.
crazy.
So with Russia, and Russia's also giving you the technology. So you as a people, you're supposed to take that technology and learn it. Same way the Chinese did when America took all that manufacturing. The Chinese didn't know what they copy and paste. They couldn't even get the Chinese to agree to copyright laws, copyright infringement. The Chinese were stealing every goddamn thing. Okay, they brought a phone. How do I make this Apple phone? Take this shit apart and build this bitch. Now you got Huawei. Huawei phones is big now.
Huawei.
I got Huawei now, damn it.
Huawei.
I never pronounce that shit. So you take people's technology and you copy and paste it for yourself. That's what you do. You don't stay impoverished. So shout out to them. See, they're bringing nuclear power. You don't hear Russia talking that green energy bullshit. That's the West. That's a scam. That's a lie. That's a scam. It's bullshit. It's a lie. So you hear about this green energy nonsense that doesn't benefit you, and now you're paying for the same people bullshit. So now you're gonna get loans from these people to buy from them. Now you're gonna owe these people for some shit that don't even work to power your country. Okay, I'm gonna get a loan to buy from you, so you're making the Europeans rich again. Another scam. So you getting free. You got these morons. We're gonna buy solar panels and windmills. You don't make it. You don't produce it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get a loan so I can buy the shit from you, and I'm gonna pay that off to you with interest. They're like, what? What are you talking about? You fucking
Mm-hmm.
insane? Are you retarded?
But as much as we're speaking about this, thank you, Jiba Jabba, for also asking the same. That's what we're asking. As much as we're saying
I think,
Mali, Burkina Faso,
I think
Niger, we get it out.
let me say,
Send him.
I think Russia's end game is to break the West back. It's not about Africa. See, remember, the West depends on Africa for its wealth. Russia doesn't. So if these are my enemies, I need to develop Africa so I can fuck up America and Europe. I'm doing it for me. I'm not doing. I don't need Africa's minerals. I got that shit myself. I don't need it.
Okay.
But these people, the Europeans are my enemies. The EU and America are my enemies. They need Africa. They need it for their civilization. They need Africa for its oil and gold and all that shit. I don't need it, but I do need to break the Europeans and Americans back. So why not? If I go and help these people, they won't be able to steal no more from Africa, and so that's going to impoverish them, and they won't be able to fight their wars against me. So I think we already know that Ukrainian war was over. I told you guys when it first started, Russia was going to win it because of these damn people who were going. No, you know people's name we can't say. They'd already hollowed out their military. And does anybody know that Israel called for a ceasefire yet? Because they're getting murdered over there in Israel in their own little, where they try to wipe these people out. But they're only people that they're allowed to commit genocide. No one says something, and you don't know who runs the world now. You're confused. You got your mind. You don't know who runs the world. They don't got no sanctions on them. They get to kill people, blow up children and shit. No one says nothing. Like, oh well, the kids getting blown up. Too bad for them. You don't see no. Where the sanctions at? There will be none. But in the long run, this is gonna hurt Israel. Like I said, you can see this is genocide. I mean, we don't got no dog in the fight, but you can clearly see this is genocide. And
Question.
Go ahead.
I was watching a video which was showing one among the Israelites who is spreading weapons to Congo. I want to know, since we know the Israel does not get, sanction, does not get
no, because because of the Rothschilds who run the banking system. These Khazaris. They're the ones that are all throughout Africa, Joe. But they want to steal. Why do you think they got the number one diamond mines, the diamond distribution in Israel? There's no diamond mines in Israel. These people were the ones controlling apartheid in South Africa. The De Beers and Oppenheimers are Khazarian Jews. They're the top. The banks in South Africa still run by the same people. All the shit you see in Africa is done by these people, by the Mossad, the CIA.
For the funds, the funds like we're discussing, that was on Wednesday, on Monday. The funds come from America, which is from you guys' tax.
So the funds to do what? The funds to do what?
To supply the weapons, to fund for the weapons.
Of course. Our tax dollars even pay for Israel. Israel shouldn't even. I can't say it on YouTube. I can say it on JEY too. But Israel couldn't even survive without American tax dollars. We're propping that country up because they control this country. I'll make sure I show it again today. Show you guys a list. All our top governmental things are controlled by what? The Zionists. Every last top official in America is all Jews. All have dual citizenship with America and Israel. All of them. You don't know who runs you. You don't know who runs you. All of them. State Department, Khazarian. Justice Department, Khazar. All the departments, all of them. You're like, what? All your departments are run by Khazarian Jews. All of them in America. All of them. All of them. So it's not we control Israel. All we tell is no. Israel tells us what to do because they control this country. They always have. Through 1913 when they created that fake bank. That fake goddamn Federal Reserve Bank. So this is a ploy because this system is dying. So they need a world war. And they're mad about Iran. They control, because remember, they want to go to, I'm going to say this tonight. I was supposed to do it last week. I had all. They want to go to war with Iran, families. They're going to say, oh, the Iranians are behind this. They're the ones going with Hezbollah and Hamas. Hamas was founded by the Israelis, not by no Iran. Remember, they wanted to bomb Iran Somalia. See, this give them a bigger Israel. It's called Greater Israel Project. Iraq, Iran, Syria, to let Israel become a bigger country, still more land. This is about them stealing more land and using American people to do it. We go die for these fucking people. Right? We bomb these innocent men, women, and children in Iraq. In Iraq. Mm-hmm. Now they want to go with Iran. Oh, Iran, look what Iran is doing. Iran. So, you see what's going on? They're trying to set Iran up for an invasion. But look here. It won't work. See, they need a world war. But this time they won't stay in power because people know they are. Ain't gonna be no war like World War I and World War II where these motherfuckers stay in power and create a new system like Britain would coming out of World War II. People know who they are now. People know who they are now. So ain't gonna be no, you blow up half the world. Ain't gonna be no Hegelian dialectic. We need to save the world, come back after they didn't want to start the damn blowing it up. That's not gonna work. Because people are gonna come to get their ass. This family's been marked. They're coming to get them. Rockefellers, Rothschilds, these other families, they've been marked. People know who they are now. You know more than people didn't know maybe like 20 years ago who these people were. They know now. The white people know. Maybe the black ones know. These white people know. They know. So ain't no surviving after this war. Think you're going to be in power still. That ain't they coming for their ass. They coming. They're not going to stop them from coming to get them. So this the end of these families. This it. Even if the war happens, this the end. You heard all these conservative blogs. They know who runs this planet. They know. So, what happened?
I don't know about Huawei being number one cell phone worldwide. It's not here. It is not. Here it is not.
Who's number one?
It's not here. It is not number one cell phone in Africa. I don't think it is.
I think it has surpassed Apple. I think it is, but it's not the number one business. The number one company in the world is still Apple, and they're gonna move. See and see the Khazarians are now flexing against the Chinese by moving shit out of there because the Chinese want to break bad and say, well, we want to be independent. Say you ain't independent, motherfuckers. We created you people from poverty. What are you talking about? You do what you're told to do. You just shut your damn mouth. So they tell the Chinese, you do what you're told to do and you shut your mouth. So we all these morons about China runs America, and that's all a lie. The phone, that's called misinformation. China was set up by the same people trying to run America. Ain't no Chinese people in power here. You go look at who's in power, you see who's in power. You can't say their names. So ideal. And we know who propped up China. Like I said, 40 years ago, Chinese people couldn't eat. They starving and shit, fucking eating their own foots and shit. Now they are a global superpower. What? They didn't know how to make shit. Didn't know how to make shit. Chinese know how to make a goddamn thing. Japanese, yeah, they knew how to make shit. Chinese know. If you guys know the Asian fight there, the Japanese can't stand the Chinese. Chinese can't stand the Japanese. Because remember, Japan conquered China in World War II. And so Japanese still don't respect the Chinese. They know all that shit was given to their ass. They tell you, talk to a Japanese, they tell you in a heartbeat, Chinese ain't never made shit. That shit was given to them. They don't innovate nothing. Get out of here.
I see Diba says that all the sand in Sahara and that region can take over the solar panel and glass industries. I also see you saying that it's a backdoor ceasefire under the guise of hostage release. And I used to see
release thing, yeah. Okay, yeah, I got to go look it up. See, I got to see the news today. They said they would call it a ceasefire because they were getting their ass kicked. They're getting blown the fuck up. I told you, I said when they went in there, that's close combat. And so these tanks were not going to be able to maneuver around a city like Gaza City the way you do out the field, like in Ukraine. There's going to be close combat. You can go in and just throw some shit on the tank and blow it up. And it's like 5 or 6 people in the tank and blow them all up, kill all of them. Boom, put the bomb on it, that shit blow. They trying to turn around and shoot you running quick behind some shit. Shit blowing up. Well, whatever. It's going to be real war. It's going to be real bloody. It's going to be smack in the mouth. So Israel's got smacked in the mouth. And it don't look good. So Uh, America doesn't have no new technology. You got aircraft carriers from the 1940s. That technology, I mean. Of course, the aircraft carriers are updated, but it's old technology. All I got to do is send one goddamn supersonic missile to hit that shit. Boom! Blows up the whole aircraft carrier. So remember, aircraft carrier was a thing of power, to project power. It don't project no power. I get one hypersonic missiles coming at you, it blows up the whole thing. So your projection of power is gone, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
so shout out to Israel and them that had restraint. I mean, to Iran that show them restraint because they know they want this war. They want a war. That's what it's all about. That was a false flag. You know that those Palestinians did not attack no Israel. Israel attacked themselves. You know that's made up. But to all the media, oh, look at this. This is the worst day in history. It was Israel's 9/11. All these lies. You live in an open air prison, fam, a prison, a concentration camp. How'd they get these gliders inside the damn city? And how'd they learn to practice how to fly them? these damn jet gliders. Where they practice at? They learn how to. Everybody just knew how to fly these damn things. You can't, and you're in a prison with the Israeli military walking around your streets all the time. Where'd you learn how to fly these things at? And one day they all started to fly towards Israel with these jet gliders. Come on, you know this is phony. It's a false flag. They did it, and I'm telling you now, family, get ready for another false flag because they lost the narrative. They need to shut down the internet. You see, everybody's against Israel, but all the massive mind control and everything that they own. That's why you never heard none. You never heard none of these Hollywood stars come out and speak against Israel because they worry about their jobs and Hollywood. You see none of these Negroes, these Hollywood black Negroes, speak against no Israel. They all kept their fucking mouths shut. They ain't say, oh, you as a human being, you say, oh man, these atrocities, they need to stop. Same what's happening in the Congo right now. You say all these atrocities, they need to stop, right? Nothing. Mm-hmm. And the people that you did see, they were going for Israel, like your bootlick, handkerchief head, ignorant ass, non-reading, illiterate ass Mayweather. This is a literate ass nigga, little literate ass moronic Negro. And I want you guys to be able to see this. That's why you dispose their ass from black society. The traitors, because if they'll do that, you can't see a genocide. And like I said, I don't rock with the Palestinians either because they racist against black people, right? But I do know I don't support open genocide, open killing of men, women, and children, right? Like I told you at the beginning, like everybody stole my talking points, like that Dr. Umar told you at the beginning. We got no dog in this fight at all. Both these motherfuckers are anti-black. So you hear that damn Stoudemire moron? They all know where their bread is buttered. I need these Jews to get me jobs. Hey, how black people are, you don't fight for Israel? Like, what are you talking about? How dare you, black people don't fight for Israel? You guys notice I can't say the N-word anymore because now we're getting advertising dollars. I can't do that. So now it's back to what I used to say, cats and black people. I can't say the N-word no more. I've been muzzled. Because I'm no good too. I've been muzzled because of money. I got to have money to fund the studio. Donations ain't coming in, so now I gotta prostitute myself to businesses to get. I gotta prostitute ourselves out there. So I gotta muzzle my words.
That is no prostitution. We just do what we gotta do. We do what we gotta do. But shout out to you, Jason Hill. I see you. Nice to see you. Also see Derek Husky in the building. Jason says that some strange reason some American Mexicans are leaving Los Angeles, but it's all kind of poor Africans walking around. Scary times or sleep. Scary times or sleepers. It's crazy, manze. It is super, super crazy. Also saying that Africans that came with immigrants, we shall be getting to that. And also see you saying that Derek Husky saying that don't Let Me Down. I don't know what Himi Town? You saying Himi Town? If I'm pronouncing it correctly. Himi
Oh
Town.
yeah, yeah, you got yeah. Don't let me down, Jaime. You can't. That's a derogatory word for those people, Joby. For those folks, people that run the world, they call them that word. Like, did they get Eddie Murphy banned when he was singing that song? I mean, that's a derogatory way of talking about those folks, those
Okay.
Rothschild Israelis. So we
All
can't
right.
say that because as soon as we say that shit, it'll go straight to Google's listening. Google.
Okay, but as we move on, I also want to talk a little bit of what is happening in Congo. Um, this is crazy and very terrifying. I don't know if the Congolese people are ready for this and how they can deal with the situation. But they see there's Marburg, actually monkeypox. That is the monkeypox disease that
I don't
has
talk about
literally.
damn diseases because we.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just informing you what is happening, and it's not just actually monkeypox. We have polio outbreak. We have polio outbreak, and which requires also the VSCCINE. So what I'd say, there's a lot of destruction literally going on right now in the continent of Africa. The UN still the same people distracting us, at the same people, telling us what is happening in terms of our body. So we need to be careful again. If there's any Congolese in the building, especially from TikTok, because I think we do have actually Congolese who are on TikTok, and I see majority trying to spread awareness what is happening a little, not really that much because of the destruction of the country. But I hope you can be able to pass information within the district, the communities of what is really, really going on, because we need to be careful. We spoke earlier today of the test drugs happening in Africa. This is serious. It is really, really serious. We have numbers of children, women being attacked. We need to be
Well,
very careful.
we don't know what's going on. We don't want to say. We just say just be careful. That's all I can say. we
Yeah.
can't we can't talk nothing about it because we know there's an agenda at hand. We're not allowed to say nothing about it on their platforms. So we just say just be careful. Stop.
Mhm.
Stay safe. Stay safe.
That
You
is
know.
actually in DRC Congo, in Burkina Faso as well. I see there's an outbreak of diphtheria, and they are requiring also. They're being told to take the VACCINE, but
Joby,
I don't know. We spoke the other time of Niger
Joby,
having to
Joby,
accept
Joby. We
all that.
got to let that go. Hopefully people understand by now. We gotta let that go. We can't talk about that.
But I see we have let me go to the comment. John Mosquito, I see you on TikTok. I see Lil Nish Karibu Sana. I don't know what's funny, but anyway, Karibu Sana. Nice to see you. I also see we had Ilano. Thank you for the compliments. I appreciate. I see Steppers says that baby girl confirm ni yule rasta wa stories za Java kindly. Sileja unasema, but anyway, karibu sana. John Mosquito, greetings to you too. Oh, Kamlesh. Wait, not Kamlesh. This is not Kamlesh. Nile Rasta was stories at Java. Oh, okay. But anyway, that is Ratchet kama sijakosea ni wewe. Shout out to Nelson. I also see John Mosquito is saying that we stand with you, Congo. That is true. I agree with you as well, 100%. As we see, literally videos are passed, on online about free Palestine, free Congolese, free Sudan, free Eritreans, free Haitians. There's a lot of Africans that are held hostage. Steppers also says they make us lab rats and offer the platform for the Jabaration journalist. I agree with that. That is, I use Jabaration though. But anyway, I agree with what you're saying. But since we don't want to talk much about the PACCINE, we shall be moving on swiftly. Moving on to the next conversation, I want to talk about what is also happening in Haiti, where the human rights group has suspended the operation because of the threats that are happening. And they're saying that Haiti Centers for Humanitarian Rights and Analysis and Research is provisionally suspending its work due to imminent danger to its staff, and its executive director said this on that was yesterday as a gang wars escalate in parts of capital of Port AU Prince, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Gideon Jim, who leads the 16-person operation, said a co-worker who had been kidnapped on October 29th had been freed on 17th November and had warned that the group had kidnapped him was targeting the organization whose work was disturbing certain sectors. He confirmed that he's being directly targeted by the kidnappers, and this is super crazy. Again, it takes me back to still where we saw 1,000 uh, soldiers from Kenya being deployed. Not yet deployed, but the agreement has been made. So I don't know if they're going to be able to deal with the situation, especially in Haiti. We were reading last week where we have 50, think if I can remember clearly, 50 of the gangs are in the Haiti capital, and 80% of the gangs are literally everywhere in Haiti. So I don't know if 1,000 troops can deal with the 80% of gangs who are funded, well funded, not just funded, well funded with weapons and everything. So good luck to them. And we are waiting to see what Ruto is gonna be saying about this. But also on this case, it's crazy to see because what is the human which human rights group again are we talking about? That is the question, which is the same human rights you see in Congo, in Ethiopia, in Sudan. Is it the same human rights trying to report about what is happening in Haiti? Because if so, personally, I don't believe they're here and meant to protect the rights of the people. That is just basically, and how simple I'll put it. I
No,
don't know
none
what are
of
your thoughts.
none of those human rights things are there to help African people. It's always to keep the state. Most of the human rights are run by clandestine clandestine intelligence agencies, either either ran by the CIA or the Mossad or MI6. So no, they're just way to keep causing confusion. So um, that's what you got to understand. That Africa is wealthy. So like I said, use the Russians to help you. See, China's not there to help. China needs your resources. Russia don't. Nothing. China doesn't have resources. All the shit that they make, they Huawei phones and all the shit they get comes out of Africa, comes out of the ground of Africa. So your number one ally should be Russia because Russia has better technology as far as military technology than China. China don't make shit that worth even having as far as militarily. So the best jets, the best stuff military you see comes out of Russia. That's why you see Russia crush um, Ukraine, and really Ukraine was NATO. So crush the United States and the rest of the Western powers. I think the West has finally decided to give up. Finally, understand. You know, and they finally understood that war is unwinnable. You know, they wanted Russia said no to the transsexual shit, to the homosexual shit. Russia's
Mm-hmm.
now investigating what the biolabs and investigating the goddamn GAB, the jazz. Russia's investigating all this shit now. So Russia said, "You're not going to topple us." See, the whole thing America thought they were going to do when Russia fell. So they were going to break. Man, they were going in to break. They were going in to break Russia up, to break its back. Russia tried to be a friend to America for the last 30 years. And at first, same way this happened in Kenya. I want you guys to see. I want you guys to see this, understand this. What they trying to do, privatize Kenya now, right? Remember in the late 90s, Russia was on its knees. They were going in the steel, the rob all the same bankers going into Russia to privatize their industries to steal them. Go back and read the 20 years ago, the late history of Russia. They were going into Russia. That's why Putin was installed to save Russia. That's why he was put there. Former KGB, their secret, their CIA, the KGB. He was a KGB officer, put in power to save Russia because they were going in, collecting, destroy. They were buying Russia up, and then they were going to break it up. They were going to break Russia up. This is what these psychopaths in the West were going to do. These goddamn bankers, these Rothschilds, and these Khazarians. So they were going in and buying up the industries of Russia, trying to force Russia to privatize its industry, but Russia not being like Africans and being weak, and being like, whoa, 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 we're trying to completely destroy Russia, destroy us. Because remember, they were trying to privatize all of Russia's industry, the water, electric, that they owned it, and then they were going to break the country up, so it would never be a power that could go against the West. And so Boris Yeltsin put in Putin, total behind the scenes. He knew what they were doing. Said they're coming. They're destroying us. They destroyed. They're coming. I need you. And remember, Yeltsin was dying. Boris Yeltsin was dying. So we had a secret meeting with Putin. He said these motherfuckers are coming with that and trying to buy up all of Russia and impoverish all of us. And I think they're going to really try to break up the country. And so this is well known. This is well known. They were vultures. Same what they do in Africa right now. They would do that to Russia. 25 years ago, they were coming and stealing all of Russia, stealing that shit. Stealing Russia's, all of Russia, what? Russia's what? Resource rich like Africa. They were coming stealing Russia's resources and trying to privatize their resources, steal all that shit. And so when Boris Yeltsin was dying, he said, man, I got to have a strong one in this bitch, or Russia will not survive. We won't survive. They're gonna break us up. This is real history. You got to know this is real history. That's why Russia's not your enemy of African people. They probably still racist, but they don't need your resources. So, because Russia was just fighting this battle themselves. You can go look this up. This is real. Go from 96 to 2000, when Boris Yeltsin was talking about this, and he had a secret meeting with Putin. He said, I need an intelligence officer up in there. I'm dying. I'm going to turn over power of the country to you. Now, you got to do what you got to do. We're going to do. And what did Putin do? He started kicking out all the Jews. Started kicking out the people that were stealing all Russia's resources. He was imprisoning them. And the West like, oh, Putin's a dictator. Putin around killing their ass, right? Because they were taking over Russia. So remember, Putin's now a dictator. Putin said, no, we don't really want to be your enemy. But we're not going to allow you to break up Russia. We're not going to allow you to break us up and own us. But we don't want to be your enemy, right? Putin told us, we don't want to be your enemy. We don't want to be your enemy. But we're not going to allow you to come in and buy up all our goddamn businesses and make us slaves in our own country. We're not going to allow that. We're not going to allow that. And so, and remember that time, Russia was militarily weak. So Russia's bid its time. Say, hey man, we got to stop building our military. These motherfuckers is coming. It's gonna be war. They're gonna raise war on us. You know, so we're going. We doing real geopolitics here. Russia knew they were gonna come do war on them. He said these people gonna raise war on us, man. We got to get our military back in shape. We got to have advanced weaponry, right? Let me see what you. So he said. Putin said, "What now?" He said. Putin was head of the case. Yeah, exactly. It's called. Yeah, it was part of he's part of the Russian CIA. Exactly. He was the head of the CIA over in Russia. Exactly. Their CIA. That's why he was put there. But Boris Yeltsin said they're coming to break us up. You got to rebuild this military because the Americans are coming. We got to be ready. You got to do it secretly, do it quietly, but you got to build it back into a power. We must have military innovation. We must have it. Because remember at that time, when Yeltsin was there, they were stealing everything out of Russia. They were stealing everything out of Russia. It was a free fall. Ashkenazi, the Khazars, they're stealing all that shit. Everything that wasn't nailed down, they were stealing. And so, Russia believes in nuclear family. Because most African Russia was under attack. You don't know Russia was under attack by the Rothschilds. Remember, that's why they killed Tsar Nicholas, because he refused to put a Rothschild bank in there. So the Khazarians have always, the Jews always had a thing for Russia when to get it. Remember, because they refused to put the Rothschild bank in there. They also saved the United States from the Khazarians again during the Civil War, when Tsar Alexander said, hey, anybody invade America is going to be at war with Russia. And Russia was the power 200 years ago. Anybody invade America is going to be at war with us. It's because remember they had the English in Canada and they had the French in Mexico. You understand? Cinco de Mayo. They had the French in Mexico about to invade America from the south. You had the British in Canada about to invade America from the north on behalf of the Rothschilds and collapse the country and get rid of it. America was going to cease to exist. You had the British in the north in Canada on the border ready to invade America. You had the damn French in the south in Mexico ready to invade from the south. They were going to meet in the middle and collapse America and get rid of it. Rothschilds were getting rid of it. We're going to get rid of this fucked up country that's not doing what we tell them to do. So, yeah, exactly right. The hypersonic, I'm talking about the hypersonic missiles, the technology. So Putin, exactly, that's what I said. America's fucked up. You can't put no aircraft carrier out there. Russia's got hypersonic missiles. You can't project your power no more. I bring my big ass aircraft carrier and say, yeah, what? That don't work no more. But I send one missile there, boom, blow up that whole fucking thing. You're done. So quietly, like you said, exactly right. Behind the scenes, Russia was developing their military again. Quietly. Nobody knew. Quietly. Since he's a KGB officer, he believes in secrets. Russia was developing themselves into a major military power again. Secretly. Remember, they devoid themselves from all wars. And they let they let the West beat up on them, steal their shit. That's okay. Russia was building themselves back into a military power. And so when and I know because I'm a military person, I had watched this and people thought, Russia shouldn't go into the Ukraine. I said, you motherfuckers got no idea. Russia's a major power again. You motherfuckers got no idea. Russia's a major power again. Because quietly through Putin, they start developing all kind of fucking military technology. Russia's got the best jets on the planet. Not America, Russia does now. Those MiGs are the best on the planet. The MiG fighters are the best. Hands down are the best. So they knew they were at a disadvantage, so they quietly kept their mouth shut. Like the Japanese did back 20 years ago when the white man showed up. They say, oh shit, the white man got us. We got to develop. Well, so Russia quietly started developing the military, and America was talking shit to Russia, and yeah, we're gonna break you motherfuckers up, and then we go to war, but you won't last, and all that. Russia's like, okay, whatever. Russia, okay. Russia's like a battered wife didn't want to get hit by the husband. America, okay, you do it, but the wife was making plans to leave and come back and fuck you up, right? The wife was scheming. Wife wasn't gonna stay a battered wife. Right? Okay, whatever. Okay, you do what you do, husband. I know, just don't beat me up too bad. Don't do me wrong. So, as the wife is cleaning out the bank account, get ready to leave your ass. Secretly, about to leave you broke and fucked up. So with Russia now, so when that's why they felt more. See, they thought Russia was at its weakest point, right? When Ukraine back in 2014 had a legal election, a real election that the guy won. The CIA went in there and overthrew their people. See, I want to tell you that. So the CIA goes in, overthrows the Ukraine election, puts in their puppet. Russia didn't do nothing about it yet. Russia still stayed cool. Said, okay, you put your puppet in there, okay. They didn't say, we're going to go to war. You put your puppet in there because that guy was pro-Russian. Everybody knew, but most people in the world knew, except like the dumb Americans, listen to fucked up news, fake news, right? And so now you had parts of Ukraine that didn't want to be part of the fake Ukraine that America had set up, right? Out there in the east, the Donbass and the Donbass region, the other region, they say, hey man, we don't want to be part of this messed up Ukraine. You've got Nazis. With Nazis are what family? Zionists, they're Jews. So let's make sure we understand what a Nazi is. Their lies, they change. Nazis are the Zionists who created the Nazis. Okay, so you got the Nazis start. The Russians on the east part of Ukraine say, "Hey, we're ethnic. We don't want to be part of this country. You're racist and you know good." And so they start killing these people, bombing them, killing. America didn't say nothing, and they didn't know nothing. So killing innocent people. there was a genocide going on. That Ukraine was committing a genocide to ethnic Russians on that border between Ukraine and Russia, right? So Putin said, let's have peace, let's stop. So remember, Putin had called the Minsk Accords. He went to Minsk, and let's have peace, let's stop killing innocent people. Trying to be the good guy. Understand, Putin's the good guy. America's the bad guy. America's the fucked up country, the wicked motherfucker, run by these wicked motherfuckers. Putin was trying to go to Putin said, let's stop killing innocent people that are Russian. Let's stop that. It's Putin will stop, but they didn't know Russia had already built themselves back into a motherfucking military might. They should have known, because they should have seen it in Syria. They should have already known that Russia was not going to be fucked with no more. They should have seen it in Syria when Obama was going to Syria. They were bombing innocent women and kids there. Said Assad's a terrorist. What they do? They stole his oil. He's a terrorist. He's committing genocide against all these lies because they wanted to go steal the resources. And so Assad said, "Hey, Russia, I need help." And remember, Obama couldn't find these. America, fucking fake puppet Obama couldn't find the terrorists. The terrorist was us, but he couldn't find them. He was in the desert. They couldn't find them. But Russia came in and started finding them and blowing them motherfuckers up, killing all of them. Then you found out you had CIA people with the terrorists. They had all this American equipment. I thought they were terrorists. How they got this American shit, right? So we know it's a lie. So Assad is still there. So they should have known then. Hey, Russia's not to be fucked with all that, because they were surprised. Remember, when Russia showed that kind of military might, I remember everywhere in the news, everybody was like, "Oh, wow, Russia might be real again." That's right. That's right, motherfucker. Russia's real again. So they should have, they was all fucked up. Because Russia came and did business. With the MiGs, Russia was killing shit out these terrorists. Boom, 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 boom. They saved Assad ass. Obama and them was all fucked up, lying. Always gassing his own people. Obama gassed his own people. Trying to save his people. You don't want to kill them and gas them. The lies that they were telling us. So anyway, so let's go up to 2020. 21, they about to invade, right? So they did the court. The Europeans said, America, fuck Russia, we're going to go invade and just take all this shit over, right? Fuck them. So we're going to take it all over, right? So they said, we're going to take it over. So Russia put its troops along the border. We knew he was going to invade. They're there. Russia might invade. Yeah, they're going to invade. Yeah. We had enough of your bullshit. You trying to steal land, killing people. We had enough. So understand, Ukraine was used as a proxy. That's why all our money, but they used as a proxy to see if their weapons would work. Russia crushed that shit. Russia went in there. That war's over. You don't hear the news no more, Ukraine war. You hear, you know why? Because Russia crushed that ass. Russia crushed the Americans. Remember, the Ukrainians is just a name. It was really NATO, people that overthrew fucking Gaddafi and tried to overthrow Syria. It's NATO, all of Europe. The Germans, the fucking British, and the Americans got crushed. Got that ass crushed, right? So now they got to sit there all fucked up because it's real. Oh, shit. And everybody should know now the number one military on this planet is Russia, not America. The number one military on this planet is motherfucking Russia. There's no doubt that the number one military on this planet is Russia. There's no doubt. America can make all this fake propaganda. We're still fuck out of here. Number one military on this planet is Russia. So Russia saved itself. And then Russia's now come out and said, we refuse. See, they trying to push that homosexual shit and transgender. Russia telling that we refuse that satanic shit. They call it satanic. We refuse that satanic shit. They try to push the GMOs in it. They try to push the GMOs. Russia said, you won't put those GMOs in here. You won't kill our people in here. You push that. See, this one, you got power. You're not going to be told what to do. Russia now regain power. You're not pushing on that shit up in here. Russia told you the global warming shit is fake. And if Russia's not going along with the global warming because they got power again. They don't give a fuck what you say. And you're not going to stop them from doing what they want to do. They told you global warming is fake. It's phony. And we're not going to go along with it. We're not. So What you gonna do? You nothing you can do. You can't impose your will on Russia. You can't impose your will on them because you ain't got the military might. Russia done broke your goddamn back, and now Russia done told you if you don't stop, that's why you get a ceasefire in Palestine. Russia done told you if you don't stop killing those innocent people, Palestine, they're coming. Fuck Iran. Turkey told you they're coming too. Now remember, I told you guys, I seen this thing on TikTok. Let somebody remember. Somebody did a video on TikTok. I know, shout out to these cats on TikTok. So they showed where the, huh?
I'm saying hi to Lando. Nice to see him. It's been a long time.
Remember, I told you about everybody knows about the Ottoman Empire, right? The Ottoman Turk Empire, correct? So I seen a video where somebody showed when the Jews came to when the Ottomans controlled Saudi Arabia, North Africa, Morocco, Libya, all that was controlled by the Turks, the Ottoman Turk Empire. So you had the Jews before they created Israel go to the Turks. I didn't even know that happened. They went to the Turks when the empire, because they helped break up the part of World War I family was to break up that empire. See, now I knew, now I got confirmation. Somebody had the history to show when the Jews went to the Ottoman Turk, what do you call that guy? The Sultan, whatever you call it, the Sultan. He said, Sultan, we would like a piece of land in Palestine for us. He said, you like a piece of land? We're not giving you none of our land. What are you talking about? He said, no, we don't want to own the land. We want to live under Ottoman rule. We'll live under your rule, but we want to live in that land called Palestine under your rule. He said, no way. You won't be coming here living nowhere in the Ottoman Empire, calling yourself a whole state of Israel, not in the Ottoman Empire. Ottomans not realizing, but they knew that the Rothschilds controlled the world when they were the Jews. They did that to break up the empire. Remember World War I when they lost? The Ottoman Empire was crushed and all them fake countries were made. Saudi, with no fucking Saudi Arabia. These fake ass countries were created. Remember, all these fake countries were created. Iraq. This is all Ottoman Empire. They don't, 100 years ago, was no fucking Iraq. Was no fucking, about the Saudi royal family. Was no fucking royal family. They were created. Royal family of Saudi and all these old fake countries. Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, all that shit was the Ottoman Empire, all of it. Egypt, Algeria, Libya, Morocco. That was all controlled by the Ottomans. Remember, all the way up to the Ottoman Empire went all the way up into Europe, Greece, the Balkan states, what you call Yugoslavia, all that shit was the Ottoman Turks. That's all. Let me do this. Let me do images. Oh, let me do this. Let me do this. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. You understand what I'm talking about? So you know the power. See, people think Turkey looks fucked up now. But I told you, Turkey knows who they used to be, and they still want it back. See, people keep forgetting what the Turkey. Oh, Turkey's a poor country. Turkey was a fucking empire. It was the biggest empire in Europe and Asia. And they still thinking about. I know they still thinking about that shit. They do. I'm like, so let me say, images of the Ottoman Turk Empire at its heights. Okay, there we go. Oh, okay, here we go. Let's see this images. Okay, my images at. Okay, so we know one of the biggest. Okay, we go right. So we know Saudi. Let me share my screen. So we know. So after World War I. This is broken about an Ashkenazim who came to him. I didn't know I should have known that they came to him. I didn't even know that. And they broke the back of the Turks. They broke their backs in World War I. Broke up this empire. Let me know with my videos. Let me know when you guys can see my screen. So, see, all this shit right here.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys see my screen?
Yes.
All this shit right here, all the way from Saudi Arabia to Egypt, Libya, Morocco, all this shit to Morocco, all this shit was the Ottoman Turk Empire. All the way from Greece, all the way into fucking Europe, almost into Hungary. All this shit goes little Turkey right there. They lost. Now after World War II, they lost all of this up here, all this down here, what you call Syria, Iraq, Lebanon, Palestine. All this shit was controlled by Turkey. It was the empire. Ottoman Turk Empire. All this shit right here. This might be a better picture. So let me go even more. They control all of Egypt, most of all of Arabia, like it was all of they controlled all. They got it like down here, right? All of Arabia, the Turks controlled. That's why they got it down here and around here. See, all up here, all up to here. See how big the fucking this empire was? This is Libya, this is Algeria, this is Morocco. All this shit here. They lost all this shit after World War I. Because they refused to give a little piece of land right here to the Jews, right here. To the Khazarians. And so now Turkey is just this little part right here. So Turkey, as most people don't know, has the biggest military in NATO. Bigger than America's now, bigger than Europe, bigger than any country in Europe, Germany, France, England. These motherfucking Turks have the biggest military. And they've been slowly building their power back again too. See, they learned it from the Russians. Shut your fucking mouth and build your power. Don't let nobody know what you're doing. Now everybody's like, whoa, the Turks have a 2 million plus standing army. 2 million plus. They can go in and crush Israel anytime they fucking want. Anytime they want, they can go and just wipe it out. They can take back most of all the Middle East. They go wipe out Saudi Arabia. They can wipe their ass out. And remember, during the Syrian conflict, the Turks were down in Syria too. Disrespecting, say this is our land. The Turks were down there being nefarious too. They weren't talking about no terrorism. They were telling Syria, motherfucker, this is our shit. After World War, the white man made you a country. The British and the French made you a fucking country. This is our shit. Now we decide to take it back, we'll take it back by force. So remember, the Turks were down in Syria too. When America was bombing and talking about this terrorism, the Turks weren't talking that terrorism. They're talking about taking back the country. Turks were talking about taking back Syria. Taking it all back.
Timespeed in the building is asking what's the difference between Ashkenazim and the Khazarians?
That's the same thing. They're the same one. They're the same people. They're the same people. There are no different. Okay. The concept of Ashkenaz, the Khazarians are the Ashkenazim. Let me get myself out of it. Okay, the Ashkenazim are the Khazarians.
But explain it again.
So let me explain. Okay. These dumbass Khazarians, right? They're really Khazarians, right? They wanted to say they were people of the Bible, right? They want to say we're the people of the Bible, we're the Jews. But they said they didn't really know the Bible. They said they were the Ashkenazim. You go back in your Bible, there's a tribe called Ashkenazim. They were too stupid to realize Ashkenazim don't come from. Remember, they're supposed to come from the line of Judah and David. The Ashkenazim are not in that tribe. They don't come from that line. So he even got it wrong when they were trying to steal the title. He got it wrong. Go back and read your Bible and look when they do all the damn bloodlines. Who comes from the tribe of David and tribe of the Hebrews is Jacob and all the 12 tribes. They thought that Ashkenazim was one of the tribes. He's not. Ashkenazim is what they call they sit outside the tribe, not really like a Gentile, but certain name that they use. It's funny, but they didn't know enough. When they were still in the title, making themselves Hebrews, lying. They didn't even know the Bible well enough in the 7th century when they were changing their names into Hebrews, calling themselves Ashkenazim. That Ashkenazim is not a tribe, it's not one of the 12 tribes. They didn't know that then. So they called themselves Ashkenazi Jews. Anybody knows anything about the Bible, you know that's not part of the 12 tribes. They're not part of these people. So even with them trying to steal the name, they fucked up. They're Khazarians. So I was recently told they wanted a homeland. Yeah, Uganda and Kenya. It wasn't Uganda then. It was Kenya. It was called the British Protectorate. It was Eastern Uganda and Western Kenya. Both countries. They wanted it in both countries. It wasn't a country. It was one big slop of land. Wasn't no borders. The British controlled both of it. It was called the British Protectorate, right? It wasn't no Kenya, it wasn't no Uganda. It was all one whole thing that the British had stole. So they wanted that there. Yeah, they wanted to go in, but they said, hey, there's too many Negroes here, too many wild animals. Ah, man, too many Negroes up in this bitch. There's going to be a lot of killing going on here. We're going to kill a bunch of them. So they said there's going to be a lot of Negroes to kill, right? Even though you had a lot of black people still in Palestine at that time. But, of course, you're in Africa, millions of these Negroes running around here. So, millions of Negroes. There's millions of these Jobies running around this bitch. So you got millions of these Jobies running around out here. They also got wild animals. They got lions and elephants, crocodiles. Like, nah, man. So that's why they said no to that. So this is their home. Let me see, images of Kazar. So this is their home. Let's see right here. So images of Khazaria. All right. So, and this, let me share my screen. So exactly. So when you guys see this here, they adopted this religion. So this was telling. Remember, this was hidden. This was hidden for a long time. Nobody knew who these people were, and they become now the face of Hebrewism, and none of them are, and they're not. So even in your goopy book, it tell you in your goopy book, the end of your book, in Revelations, it tells you that the people that say they Jews and are not, they're the synagogue of Satan. So now we got to go deep because your ancestors wrote this book. Understand? They wrote that goopy book as a religion, but they put real shit in it. That's come from the Septuagint, so they could always read the future. Those that claim they are Jews and are not. So they knew that these people are going to be claiming that they were Jews and not. They're all what? Satanic. These Jews that you call Khazarians all worship what? Satan. They all are devil worship. Or what we just call, I don't say devil worship what they call Lucifer. Lucifer. That's why you find in the United Nations, there's a Lucifer room. In the United Nations, there's a room dedicated to the devil, to Lucifer. This is a fact. In your goofy book, it's telling you those that claim they are Jews and are not. They are the synagogue of Satan. So even in your goofy United Nations, they got a room called where they worship the devil. I'm gonna show you. We're gonna pull up called the Luciferian room if we can find. But let me show you this. Okay, so this. Let me share my screen. So.
Joe Mosquito, you know you're lying.
What do you say? What your mosquito say?
Let me go to the comments on TikTok. I see Joe Mosquito says, Russia is building a nuclear plant for Burkina Faso, yeah.
And Mali. Right now, and Mali yeah. And Niger. Remember, the West never wanted to do that. The other white people never wanted to do it because that gives you technology. You can build your own nuclear bomb and protect yourself. Can nobody steal your shit? Go ahead, Joe.
Yes, it says a great bit of history over there on Russia history, how they fell apart and now rebuild themselves again. I also see a scene that makes sense now why there is so much war. There was so much wars in Eastern Europe, and I also see you're saying it's the same thing, 10 speed on what he's asking about the difference between Ashkenazim, and I never used to say Ashkenazim. I used to say Ashkenazim. Stop lying. Stop lying.
So here you go. So let me share my screen. So you see what 10 speed's talking about. Okay, they come from
everyone with us on YouTube. Kindly smash the like button. We have 30 people in the building, and even on top of that.
Well, we're getting big.
Yeah,
we're always coming back. They're always going to try to stop us. We always lose the channel, and then we build it back up. We know you're listening, so keep on listening. Who cares? So that's what they do. Okay, so can you see my screen here, Joby? I guess you can.
Yes.
Okay. So what you talking about, 10 speed? So this called, remember, the Jews of Khazaria. This is when they changed. It became, they're Khazarians. So they took on a thing called Ashkenazim, because they tried to say they were one of the tribes of the Hebrews, which they are not. So they decide they are converts from this thing. They're from the steppes. They're part Mongols and Turks. They're Turks. The funny part is that they're Turks. They're Turks and Mongolian mixed. So these are Jews of Khazaria right here. You're never supposed to know that this empire existed. They never talk about it. This is the Khazarian Empire, what you see in Ukraine. Reason why you got the war in Ukraine, they were trying to get Ukraine back. The Khazars. That's the reason why this war, that's why they were killing all these people, to clean it out, because they were going to get rid of Israel and move back here to their home part. And then they were trying, that's the reason why they were breaking up Russia. Because Russia was the one that collapsed this empire back in the day. That's why they hate the Russians so much. Okay? So they was going to collapse Russia and make it into 5 different countries and then reclaim this Ukraine and rename it Khazaria again and rebuild the empire. This and what you see over on the southern tip of Russia called Kyrgyzstan. They were building all this goes to Kyrgyzstan over here, which they controlled back in the day. So these are, like we say, the Jews of Khazaria who are not Jews. They took on this religion. And now they are the number one, they are 96% of the Jews on the planet, because most of the real Jews were killed. They were to be a Hebrew, you're African. If you're not black, you're a phony. Okay? Let's make sure we understand the history. All the lies they've told. These people are the ones are responsible for the Arab slave trade. They're responsible for the Atlantic slave trade. They're the ones mostly own the plantations in the Caribbean, in the southern part of the United States, in Brazil, in Colombia, Venezuela. These Khazarians, they control most of your goddamn slave plantations. And then if you guys understand, during the Civil War, the vice president of the South was one of these Khazarians. I think it was Judah something, Judah bin something. The vice president of the Confederate was one of these Khazarians trying to keep slavery going. Because they're the ones that benefit most of the ships coming when the Moors lost power in Europe. Most of the ships that were coming to the New World, so-called, were controlled and owned by what? These Khazarians. They owned the ship that went and picked up black people from Africa. It took your ass to America, Jamaica, Haiti, Colombia, Brazil. They own these fucking ships. See, all this history's hidden, and now when you say it, they try to stop you, because all this is real history. It's a fact. But you're not supposed to know that. See, you have more power when people don't know who you are. And people don't know who actually controls this planet. Why things only benefit these people. You find these are the same people that own what? All of Hollywood. These are the same people that own all your news all over the world. That's why you get one narrative. Theirs. You get their narrative. And when you go outside their narrative, you get censored. So that now got control of this planet. But they don't got control of, now I know Russia is, they don't got control of Russia. And they've been trying to break Russia up. Now Russia is their foe. I know they go crazy. See, they go the Jews of Khazaria. See this? This is all history. That you were never supposed to ever know any of this. The Jews of Khazaria, who are now considered the real Jews, right? These are what you see in Israel. These are the Khazars in Israel today doing that bombing. All of them are Khazars. They're Khazari. They're not original Hebrews. To be a original Hebrew, you must be an African. At that time, when that fake religion was created by the African for the Greeks, only people that lived in North Africa and Northeast Africa were Africans, not white people. Anybody talking about their original from the star, son of David and all that shit, these white people here, it's a lie. Made up. But you were never supposed to be able to say that, to, the Khazar. They say, oh, they got killed doing Nazi Germany. They created Nazi Germany. Because so through their Hollywood movies, you believe, oh, they got burnt up and killed. And you can't say nothing against the Holocaust. Well, the thing with the Holocaust is the Nazi is nothing more than national Zionism. Okay? And they never tell you in the beginning that Hitler funded for the Nazis, for the Jews to go down to damn Palestine to begin with. Remember, the German Jews didn't want to go to no Palestine. They didn't want to go to that desert. They're like, nah. So they forced them to go through trying to kill them. Hey, that's your new homeland. Because they didn't even want to go. They didn't want to go. Uh-oh, lost one. You still there, Joby? Oh, you there?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I was passing a message on to person.
Okay, you good. So this is the thing of Khazari, how big this empire was. So it was the Slavic people. It was no Russia yet. They say the Slavic people, because Russia didn't exist. You see, it says the Olga, Bulgaria, and all these. See, was no countries yet, even in Europe yet. Was no countries. This was the Holy Roman Empire still all the way up here. There was no France. There was no England. When the Khazarian Empire, none of these countries even existed in Europe yet. None of these countries, there was no countries like Germany and France and Spain. None of that shit existed. See, understand, Europe is relatively new as far as history is concerned. Europe, these Europeans, they got the black people believing that Europe is always ruled. There was no fucking countries even in Europe. You don't see any countries here. There's no Germany. It's called the Holy Roman Empire. There's no countries up around here. And so you got this, the Kievan Rus. See right there? This I told you. Kiev, which is part of Ukraine, is where Russia starts. There was no Russia yet. It was called the Kievan Rus. You see right here. Let me enlarge that. See what you see it? See, there was no Germany. See, this would be Germany right here. This would be Poland. Was no Poland. This over would be France. Was no France. This would be Belgium. Was no Belgium. There was no Netherlands. None of these countries even existed yet. You see this? This is the Kievan Rus, where Kiev is right there, right? There was no Russia up here yet. See, this was the Khazar kingdom. Oh, in the Tissus. There was no Russia right here. Russia didn't even exist as a country yet. All up here was no Russia yet. I know you try to tell Africans history. They think the white man always ruled. The white man had power. These white people are so genius. What are you talking about? These were nomadic people that didn't wash their ass to run around Europe. They were nomadic and tribal. These were Germanic tribes. There were no countries in Europe. So this was Khazar, the Khazar Empire right here. This was, we see Turkey is today. At that time, there was no Turkish Empire, there was no Ottoman Empire yet. This was the Byzantine Empire. This was Eastern Rome. You got the Holy Roman Empire. You got the Eastern Roman Empire, which was Byzantium, where you had the Hagia Sophia, the first church created right here in Constantinople. See, right there, it was still called, now it's called what? Istanbul, because the Turks got it now. They changed the name of this city. Back then it was Constantinople because King Constantine created Christianity from this city right here. It's where Christianity was invented, right here in Constantinople. It's where you got your first church, the Hagia Sophia, right here. Right there. So this was the seat of Christianity where it was created at. In the Byzantine Empire, Byzantium, was really the Eastern Roman Empire. So the Turks didn't have an empire yet back then. See, because they're going to take over Byzantium and conquer their ass. This is going to become the Ottoman Turk Empire. The Turks going to run up through here and take over all this shit all up here. All down here. They go all the way down in Saudi Arabia and all that other shit. But yeah, so that's a brief history you should know. See, that's why you got the Star of David. That's not the Star. There's no such thing as no Star of David. See, that's a satanic monogram. There's no Star of David nowhere in the Bible. See, those that say they are Jews are not Jews, but the synagogue of Satan. See, this is a monogram. This is not there's no Star of David nowhere in the Bible. So this image is not what you think it is. This shit right here, not any Star of fucking David. And they don't come from the line of David anyway. That's not even real. Remember, they Ashkenazim. They said they come from the line of Ashkenazim. Ashkenazi, which is not from the line of David. But they didn't know that when they were becoming converts to this religion. They were making this shit up. They didn't know that yet. So anybody go back and know biblical history, Ashkenaz, the tribe of Ashkenazim are not from the tribe of David or Judah. So they still wouldn't be Hebrew. So these people converted themselves into this religion. And now they would go into other countries when they got broken up and take over the countries by using what? Banking scams. They the ones started usury. See, in the Bible, in Christianity, Islam, what's illegal? Usury. Usury is illegal to give people loans and get what? Interest from it. That's against the Bible, and it's against Christianity, it's against Islam. usury. But these people are not Christians nor Islamic. And usury is illegal. That's how they got control of the world, through what? Banking, using usury. Give people loans and have them pay interest. Now they got the whole world caught up with their fake banking scam. Because in Christianity, this is illegal to do. In Islam, this is illegal to do. See, we see they got the Islamic empires right here and the Christians next to them. And so they were, at that time, they were still killing babies and eating them. And we see the blood sacrifice going on. These people worship a big dick. Their God was a big dick. Literally. I know this sounds crazy. Before they became Jews and got this thing right here, they were worshiping a big dick. Literally, a big dick. Because they were doing all kinds of debauchery shit. And the Islamic people around them and the Christians say, hey, man, y'all going to have to stop this wicked shit y'all doing, or we're going to invade and take you over. We're going to destroy you. So they didn't want to become Islamic, and they didn't want to become Christian. They said, damn, what's another religion we can become so these fucking Muslim motherfuckers from the South and these Christians from the West don't invade our ass. They eventually invaded them anyway, because they were still wicked. Remember, they got something called the Talmud, the Babylonian Talmud. It has nothing to do with the Bible. It was their wicked shit, the Talmud. Talk about sucking on kids' penises and shit. All kind of wicked shit in that shit. So this is the creation of this right here, right? So anyway, what's I wanted to say? So the Russians, the Kiev and Rus right here, because not Russia now starts to become powerful. It starts wanting to create a country. So they crush their ass, right? They crush these people right here, the Khazari. Because this is part of Russia. They start creating Russia going back this way. Because remember, Kiev and Rus was just a small place right here in Kiev, in Ukraine. They start going westward and they crush these Khazarians. That's why the Khazarians wanted to break up Russia today and hate Russians. So because it was the Rus that broke the empire up and called these people wicked. And so these people went through what? All throughout Europe, all throughout Russia and South. They just broke up and went everywhere and started creating banking systems and started capturing the world through their banking system. So let me get out of that. Let me get out of that, guys. So, okay, here we go. You guys damn compensate. Recently, he said, okay, conference, followers, yeah, that's what they are. Just try to donate, not the shit they went through. I don't know what you doing to the network. Did you go to the network, or did you do the Cash App? I wasn't looking. I'll look at it in a minute. So you know that Russia is actually a Chinese colony. Well, it wasn't a Chinese colony. They stole Russia back in Russia. Well, you're talking about the Mongolians. Yeah, before there was Russia, you're talking about the Mongolians don't consider themselves Chinese economy. They're the Asians. The Mongolians don't consider themselves Chinese. They consider themselves a whole different ethnic group from the Chinese. You're talking about when it was the Mongols who controlled. Yeah, the Golden Horde, their empire before it was Russia. Okay, let's go to that. Let's see the gold. Let's go to the images of the Mongolian Golden Horde Empire. So there we go, the Golden Horde right there. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're going to Golden Horde right here. So let's go share the screen. So talk about the Golden Horde. So we know the Golden Horde was the Mongolians coming from the northern steppe. So you got the Mongolians and the Turkic people were virtually like intermixed people, right? And so before you got Russia, you got the Golden Horde Empire, which controlled half the world at one time. Shit was huge. You know when you got to see my screen. See the Golden Horde of Mongolia. See, mostly covers almost all of Russia, all the way into what they call Ukraine today. And you see all these cognates. These cognates down here are the Turks. All these cognates, this is whatever cognate it is, cognate. So these are the cognates before the Turks completely come down here and take over what they call Byzantium right here. So all these people, what they call the Eurasian steppes, are your Mongolian Turkish cats. These are your cognates. The cognates are your Turkish people. So they start moving further west and taking over land. Then finally collapsing the Eastern Roman Empire. So this is your Golden Horde. And then what you're talking about, the Chinese dynasty right here. And see, there was no Russia. Russia didn't exist as a country. There was no Russia yet. You had Kiev right here, and you had Moscow. So you had two city-states, right? Kiev and Moscow at the beginning of Russia. First you had Kiev, then you had Moscow. Kiev comes first. Then they created Moscow. So this was your whole Russian world at that time, just two city-states. They didn't have any land. See, all this stuff that would later on become Russia that we know of did not exist. That was controlled by, like you said, part of China and part of the Mongolian, the Mongols, the Golden Horde. Then you had all these cognates, these Turkish motherfuckers, right? These cognates, the cognate. See, these all these Turkish cats before they finally go ahead and get up in and get Byzantine and get Turkish. So all these things were parts of India. See, there was no Pakistan and Afghanistan. That was all controlled by these Turkish motherfuckers. All the way into China was Turkish. Was all these were these Turkish groups. See, Kazan, legendary city of Genghis Khan's Golden Horde. Remember, it was the cognate that transformed the Golden Horde and had the Mongolians accepting Islam. Like the cognate kept loose, they would always see. Remember, the Golden Horde was always fighting the Turks. It was vicious battles. But at that time, history, the Mongols were more powerful, and they started subjugating all these cognitive states because the Golden Horde was bigger. The Golden Horde went all the way down to India. They conquered all this shit. Okay. This is 1294. Okay, so eventually all of China became part of Mongolia and northern India and all this shit. The Horde controlled all this shit all the way up to damn Egypt. The Golden Horde went all the way to Egypt and all the way into damn Hungary. So from Hungary over here, all the way back, all of China was controlled by the damn Mongolians. All of it. They controlled all that shit. So.
Thank you, 10 Speed, for the donation.
Oh, let me see. Also, network. Okay, I'll find it later. It'll show it to my email. You got cold, Joby? Put some clothes on.
Yeah, it's raining. It's cold. It's really cold.
Well, turn on the heat then. The heat in there, turn it on.
Yeah, I got the heater on, but I'm still feeling cold.
That's the noise I'm hearing. The heat. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing.
Nah, not really. The heater doesn't make noise. It's very silent.
Okay. So, yeah, so we understand that, family. You got to say Europeans' first civilization was a mixed. Yeah, it's about a mixed breed group. Yeah, the Europeans didn't have any power yet, and they all came from Asia. It's funny how the Europeans all of a sudden got power. Don't even go back to their own history, but like they're lucky that they're on top. Well, they really not the most on top. Really, the Khazarians that control the Europeans. That are really running the show behind the scenes. But It's funny how the Europeans don't ever go back to their own history. It's only recently that the Europeans get powers. Recent shit. You go back, just what I just showed you that there, that's like ancient history. That's like ancient what I'm showing you. There was no European countries even existing yet. You had empires in Africa at this time. You had no empires in no fucking Europe. Motherfuckers walking around, naked, butt naked. Remember the Romans told you they hated the British because the British would walk around naked. The British walk around, British walk around Britain naked, and had shit hanging from their buttholes. Romans like, whoa, these people are fucked up. Remember, they made a movie. They got a new movie. They got a new propaganda movie came out about the damn the British white queen Boudica who fought the Romans. Remember the Romans said Boudica was a moron. They used her to take over half of England because it wasn't called England yet. Didn't exist. Wasn't even England yet. Back in about what was that, like 1,300 years ago? And shit like that when they went to England.
Crazy.
What happens about crazy on TikTok?
John was Peter.
So understand when you know their history, their mystery, you won't feel reverence for these people. You don't think that they've always ruled the world. And Russia, even Russia's a new country. Everyone talking about the greater scheme of things, Russia's new. Like America's new. America's 20 years old. Russia's not an ancient country. It didn't exist. It's a new country that when they finally started conquering, the Mongolian Empire was collapsing. Russia started going back eastward and became a country. So yeah, they stole. They're not a colony of China. They stole a lot of Chinese people, a lot of China's land, and that's another thing. The Chinese ain't forgot about that shit either. Chinese keep talking about, hey, half of Russia really belongs to us. The Chinese keep saying that shit. Xi Jinping be saying that shit because that's what Russia has, all those resources. China want them fucking resources. They happy they didn't have to come to Africa. They can go right there, that shit they used to own. And they talking about it. They talking and say, hey, we becoming a power now. Shit. That shit that the Chinese, that the Russians stole from us. So you're right. The Chinese ain't forgot about that shit. Half of Russia, it was theirs. And those places got resources. And they don't. And they want it back. And if China ever did a straight bum rush, Russia couldn't defend it. Unless they dropped a nuclear bomb. Because there's too many Chinese people coming across. They couldn't stop. There's only like 100 million Russians. Russians don't have a big population. They're small. You got more people in Nigeria than you got the whole country of Russia. You got more people almost in Kenya than you got in Russia. I think Russia's population is like 130 million. You got, and like somebody said, it's probably more than 250 million Nigerians. See, Nigerian is a poor country. They got no way to even count people. It's all some Nigerian have me laughing. It's just a guess. It's just a guess. We don't know. Of course, it's more than 250 million people. We got no way to count nobody in this bitch. So you probably got like 300 million Nigerians in the country alone. So look, how many? Let's see, what is the Russian population? Let's see this. Give me a second. What is the Russian? What is the Russian population? How many people are in Russia? Okay, 143 million. That's it. That's it. You got almost triple. You got double that in Nigeria alone. So they know. Yeah, and Russia would drop a bomb on China because that's what that stops them. If China could just run across that border and take it all back, they couldn't stop them. They don't got the manpower. It's only 140 million of them. You got a fucking billion, 140 million against $1.5 billion. China's got $1.5 billion, motherfucker. $1 billion. They got people that $1 billion. That ain't close. You couldn't stop them if they wanted to say, yeah, we come back and we taking all this shit back. What you gonna do? Russia had no choice but to drop a nuclear bomb on China because they couldn't stop them like with the manpower. Too many of these motherfuckers come running across the border. Ching chong wing bang chong wang ching. Too many of them coming in with their rice.
You're breaking from my end. My internet is misbehaving.
That's you breaking, yeah, because you're now frozen. There you go. That's you. How long we been on here? About 2 hours.
John Mosquito, let me know if you can hear me on TikTok.
We've been on here about 2 hours, haven't we, guys? How long have we been on here? And we've been on. How long have we been on here, Joby? 2 hours. Can you hear me, Joby? Joby frozen. I don't think Joby can hear me. I'm gonna wrap it up and come back on tonight. I think Joby's internet's going out. Okay, I'm gonna come on the Black Eye Fire Network channel. Yep, I lost. I knew it. But since she comes back, she might because it's rain out there. But I'll be back on tonight. So everybody who's on here, don't go to Keith Newsom channel. I'm gonna come on the Black Eye Fire Network channel tonight, family, and do the show from there tonight. Do a little news. I'll get you about 10 more minutes. Then we'll wrap it up. Joby, let me see if she's still on TikTok. She might still be on TikTok. No. Oh, she's still on TikTok. Let's see. See, she's still on TikTok.
Just the same as yesterday, same time. The internet just disappeared. And it was raining.
Well, she back. Okay.
So I'm back, okay.
Yeah, so she back on TikTok. She back. Okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I told him you still on TikTok.
Yeah, my internet is misbehaving. I don't know what's going on.
I think we've been on for 2 hours, right?
Yeah. We got 4 minutes winding up.
Okay. I'm about to ride it up. Let Joby go eat or whatever she's gonna do. Cook dinner, and I'll be back on here late on the night, man. I'll be back on about 9 o'clock Eastern time. For real. I'll be back on night for real. So everybody go to the Black Eye Fire Network channel and on YouTube and sub there. I'll be on Rumble, Black Eye Fire Network on Rumble. I'll come on TikTok. I'll be on TikTok too tonight. They'll probably take it down. We might go live. As soon as I go live on TikTok, it all goes down like in 5 minutes. As soon as I get on there. As soon as I get on that shit go down on me. Soon as
I'm not. Let me. You'll have Joe Mosquito. You'll have user 78. Shout out to you. I see you on kids. On Mr. Blackout Fire TikTok. Shout out to you, user 73, and whoever knows with us. Yeah, Joe Mosquito. I'm not going nowhere. It's raining. I can go clubbing when it's raining. Then I'm not an outsider anymore. And next week it's my birthday, so I gotta rest. Okay, I gotta rest.
He's coming from Havana, Florida. Hold on. This is a crank car. You know it's gonna be a crank car. Let's see what this is. Have some fun. Hold on. Hello. Hello.
My name's Sarah, and I'm calling you from Quick Assist.
Oh, that's a computer. That was just a person. We're gonna have some fun. Hey, hello. My back is fucked up. Can you help me? You called me. Can you help me, please? I need to get to the hospital. Can you send somebody?
I'll still help you. Once you do it, the only thing you can do, John Mosquito, is just delete. But I don't think you can edit on TikTok. Once you send the comments, the only thing you can do is just delete. Or TikTok will help you delete if it's offensive comments. Of course,
TikTok can delete all your stuff anyway. You be typing. You think somebody looking at your thing like, oh, they already deleted it. They can't see it, but you can see your own comments. The person
we don't see it.
Yeah, they can't see it, but you can see it. Like, everybody ain't answering my shit.
Yeah. That has happened to you a couple of times. Sometimes TikTok, they tell us they do put a disclaimer. Some comments are offensive, so you can't be able to read them.
Anything talking truth is offensive. So, so you guys enjoy. Hey, did you guys enjoy your genocide day off? Everybody enjoyed their genocide meal yesterday? Everybody enjoyed their genocide meal?
Maybe everyone was just feeling like you, just chilling.
I'm asking you guys. I'm trying to find out. Anybody have their genocide meal with their family. Yes, it's okay if your family can. That's cool. You know, I'd eaten. My brother tried to ridicule me, this old coon ass Negro. You're not getting you know turkey and all the dressing and all the stuff. You're not watching football. No,
I come for food personally, being
yeah, the
honest.
food is good. Yeah, if you're gonna do it, yeah, come for the food. But I don't got no family no more. Right? I used to cook big meals myself, but my wife did. Then I started doing. I had to learn how to do it myself and cook it. I ain't did one in years, about 4 or 5 years now. I cook everything. I had to learn how to do it. Be on YouTube. How you cook that shit? How that shit gotta be cooked? Be all on YouTube. How to make sweet potato pie. Okay. How to make strawberry cheesecake. Okay. How to make red velvet cake. Okay. Shout out to YouTube. Tell you how to make it. Because you got you guys in the South, well, you guys know about fried turkeys, right? In the South, there's a big thing. They fry those turkeys. You know how to fry a turkey, putting that big old thing in that big old grease, like Joe and them doing Africa about all that grease and shit.
Mm,
how to fry bush meat.
God damn, no. I like everything of mine in curry. If it's chicken, chicken curry, fish curry. If beef, most of the times I'll do just normal, just fried beef and all
You
that.
got to tell us. I call it thanks for the taking a day. Yeah, the day. Yeah, taking your land day. Yeah, taking your land. I call it genocidal day. We also got to talk about what's going on in Chicago tonight too, family. About what Tinsky talking about. Chicago, the people fighting back, the Africans, the black people fighting back, how they put all these illegal aliens who hate us, these legal immigrants, and just like Jason talking about the legal immigrants walking around the streets of L.A. It's just crazy, man. And people, the legal aliens are now raping people up in Chicago. These fucking Mexicans and Hispanics, they're raping people in Chicago, causing assault, stealing, robbing. What the hell is your mosquito talking about? That brother keep eat brother keeps cooking at your own risk. Yeah, you'll, you'll love every bit of it, Jim Mosquito. You'll eat it, and you'll be licking your own goddamn Ghanaian fingers. But man, you'll say, damn, this damn sure ain't no damn bush meat.
I'm not gonna lie, I also doubt if Kit can cook good.
Joe, Joe, Joe eat every bit of it. She run out the. So, when I get to Kenya watch, I'm gonna cook it in. Joe gonna want to go out and then all of a sudden, Joe gonna run through
Robert Williams, shout out to you.
Joe gonna run through the streets butt naked. I thought he couldn't cook. I said, Joby, put some goddamn clothes on. I know it's good, but don't get crazy. I know it's delicious. Bush meat with all the shrimp. That's right. Bush meat.
You get a day off for what?
For Thanksgiving.
For the Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Yeah. You would be on my neck. Yeah, I got it. Come on. Yeah.
Yeah, what?
We don't want that.
What about your neck? What about that? What?
Now I'm telling Robert Williams what he's saying over there. If today I was still talking to Zoe, it'd be on my neck.
Hey, do that. Oh, you gonna go out there? Yeah, so you can shit. Hey, so you can I'll send you a link, 10 speed. I'll send you a link, right? I'll send you a link and you can be on the show live. If you go to the police station, show me. Yeah, I'll send you a link. You gonna be out that late? Well, it's gonna be 8 o'clock for you because you Central Time. Chicago Central Time. So yeah, you be 8 o'clock, be 9 o'clock for me, 8 o'clock for you. Yeah, right. You're in the Central time zone. So okay, yeah. But yeah, hell, go do that. That should be crazy. That'd be cool as hell. Like, get your asses up. What is wrong with y'all? Take your ass back to your own country and get on out of here. Because in New York, they in there raping people, robbing motherfuckers, and these migrants and shit.
I mean, that's what we want to tackle on, where the New York City mayor has warned about.
I forgot about that.
There's nothing they can. Yeah, like the New York City mayor said, there's nothing they can do about the migrants flocking on the streets.
Yeah, because he brought them in there. Listen, the scam is to replace black people. You guys know what this is. Your votes, you're now waking up. You realize the Democratic and the Republican Party don't do nothing for you. I don't know if you want to call yourself an indigenous, Indian, or black, whatever you want to call yourself. Us as black people are not supposed to ever get anything. So they're bringing their replacement people in here. That's what you see happening. That's a fact. Bring their replacement people in. So they giving them money. We don't ain't getting no money. People on the street, they're giving these guys $2,000 and $3,000 a month. Illegal alien, you can't even get nothing. You got no place to stay, no place to live, because they setting up their new underclass. So with you, they expect you to die out. They set up their new underclass, give them jobs, remember they giving them apartments and shit? Like they're in Chicago, parts of New York, they give them places to stay.
But they get too big. That's what I think we discussed this last week on Friday or Wednesday. They're picking the houses they want. They pick it. Like
Imagine you're illegal alien, you ain't got shit. I don't like. They ain't being picky with the food. What kind of food is this? Motherfucker, you a bum. You ain't got no place to live. You gonna talk about what kind of food you get? I don't like that. I need to get better food, better housing. Remember all the money they were paying for them famous fancy hotels in Chicago and New York? Like what? Let me be black. Boy, listen, I'm an American citizen. I like to have me a fancy room. They say Nigga, you better get your ass out of here. Lock your ass up. I only spelled it. See, I didn't say it. They tell me Nigga, you better get your ass out of here. What do they? Who do they stuff bush meat with? Oh man, go look it up. I sure Joby showed you that thing. Let me show you what gun name in bush meat is for. I thought Joby showed it to you guys. That's why whenever you add someplace new, family, please ask them what you're eating.
I assume that's a nasty question. God,
What's that? What's the nasty question?
That what Juba Jabba is asking. What do they stuff bush meat with? I'll give a perfect example. Let me, before Kid shares his image. Let me show you.
See, turkey we stuff with stuff. Exactly, we stuff our stuff. I can't even explain stuffing to Joby. She had to look it up. Say images of stuffing. So we stuff our turkeys with the stuff with it's like bread and what's that like breaded what? Breaded?
I know. With the turkey, it's different. I mean, we've cooked what's it? A bat. I don't know if you guys a bat. The duck, not a bat, but duck. Sorry, the duck, not the bat, but the duck. The duck.
Kind of
sorry, the duck. Sorry, I confused the duck. The duck. My dad cooked the duck, and the stuffing was with the ingredients. Tomatoes, onions.
Yeah, you stuffed it with that. Ooh, that sounds delicious. Duck, man, that's real good. Man, that sounds who's making that?
My stepmom made it, but I didn't like it.
What with duck with tomatoes and stuff and onions? That sounds kind of delicious, though, Joby. Damn.
I didn't like it.
Maybe because she couldn't cook. Maybe she wasn't cooking it right. I don't know that.
I'd say so, because the response I've had from people say that a duck is really soft, but I had a very hard meat duck.
It was hard. Ooh, that was some hard meat. Oh man, that shit was hard, man. You guys eat goose? Last time I did make the genocide dinner instead of I did fuck this. Instead of making turkey, I made these goose. It came out the oven. I was like, ooh, that shit good. The stuffing around and the stuffing looked all good. Stuffing was delicious. I went to eat that damn hen. I mean that damn goose. It was all hard. I couldn't get the like, man, what kind of shit is this? I couldn't get my fork in the damn thing. I'm like, God damn.
I don't know what the stuffing of the bushmeat could be, but for ours, our street bushmeat, this is it. Excuse me, this is it.
You guys got turkeys. There's like a turkey shit.
Yeah, but I'm saying to answer just Jiba Jabba, our street bushmeat, this is it. We stuff it. Most of the people stuff it with either
that's not bullshit. That's like some kind of sausage.
Other meat, another minced meat. Other stuff it with blood.
That's some kind of sausage. I don't know what that is. Is that pig or beef?
No, the bloody one is not nice.
What kind of meat is that?
This is intestines.
Oh hell no, that's goddamn
Then
shitness.
you
Oh hell. Oh, oh, I'm not eating doo-doo. I'm not eating doo-doo. I refuse to eat doo-doo, Joe, but you eat that doo-doo.
that is our street bush meat. Trust me, it's really nice and
It ain't not,
really
trust me,
yeah.
trust me, it's not. Would you trust me, it's not. Eating doo-doo is never nice, family. I'm
It's
not
good
eating
for
doo-doo.
hangovers. It's good actually when you have
Dang.
munchies, when you're passing by the
Ugh.
street, you just,
I don't
eat very
actually
quick. It's called mutura. We call it mutura.
images of Ghanaian bushmeat.
That's the
Not
word.
not Canadian. Images of Ghanaian bushmeat.
Shout out
Not
to you,
Canadian.
Moses.
It's not. God, let me spell. I say Ghanaian. Like, Ghanaian. No, Ghanaian bushmeat. Oh shit! God damn! I'm not fucking with none of that. There you go.
I'm not eating that.
Now look at this. Now
I'm gonna survive. Green.
You eating this shit, nigga.
I'm
Negro.
surviving vegetables in Ghana.
Tell me you eating this shit right here. This district. Tell me you eating this shit here.
Survive with vegetables
Look
in
at this.
Ghana.
Man, they got regular food too, though. Look at that. See that? See that Negro with that rat, that bushmeat there, and this bushmeat shit. Look at this thing. You eat. Look at this shit here. They put this in their food. This shit here. Look at this shit. Fucking rats. Shit. Look at this shit here. Look at this. Look at this Negro right here with no shirt on. With this thing.
From hunting.
God damn. Look at that. That thing like a fucked up possum we got it. Look at this shit. This bush meat. Your mosquito
From
tried. Your mosquito tried to pretend he ain't never ate this shit. He know he ate a whole bucket of this shit. It's like a whole bucket of KFC. They got a restaurant called Bush Meat. Bush
You
Meat.
said it didn't, so I believe it didn't.
Look at this white woman. I always got a white person. Oh, look at that. Look at these goopy niggas eating this stuff. Look at this shit they eat. No, these goopy Africans. Look at these goopy Negroes eating this crazy shit. These crazy Negroes. Look at this bush meat. Why did I eat this? You know, so we got American black woman right here. Like, what is this? Got American black woman eating that crazy shit. What is this shit I'm eating? Oh man, look at this here. Oh, what is? Oh God, I rather start. So see, you always gotta have a white guy do. He's like, oh, look at this shit. So this is what you call poverty porn right here. Look at this. Oh, look what I'm eating. Look what I'm eating. Exotic African street food, eating bush meat. Exotic African food.
We pull that down.
That's-
That is again, that's the poverty porn they're trying to spread in. Because I don't understand why Africans right now are eating this kind of food, man.
Yeah. I don't know. Look at it. They got these things hung up bleeding. Look at this thing. Look at all these things bleeding. Chop out this. Oh my God.
This is
Shit.
on the country.
Oh.
Our bush meat here is called kanga. Kanga, if I'm not wrong.
You know,
Kanga
and
is really
and
nice.
you can sell this shit without. You can sell bushmeat in Ghana without a permit. That shit got all kind of bugs and fucking parasites in this shit.
Kanga, let me
Oh.
see.
Look at this shit. They cut up all the heads and oh God. You know, mosquito, you rotten bastard. They come get your people eating this shit here. Imagine what your poo-poo smells like shitting this out. Ah.
Kid, good night, man. I want to cook. I want to have me dinner.
I forgot you eating. My fault. Let me get bush meat right. Look at that bush meat right there. Oh man. Oh. Sheesh. Look how big this motherfucker is right here. Look how big that thing is. I smell food. I said, wow, welcome to the biggest bushmeat market. Wow, it's gonna be with the food. You know you ate food before, Mosquito. Jim is skill job like he ain't never ate no poo-poo. Stop lying. Woo! Bush meat, Negro. Poo-poo, all you can eat. Woo! Let me get on. Oh man.
Kunywa waba, wewe, kunywa waba.
I couldn't get that down. As soon as I ain't smelled it, I would throw up immediately. Look at it. Knowing you eat this, I'd rather eat a goddamn dog than eat this shit here. You crazy?
Nah.
I don't want to eat a dog, Joby.
You already did.
That was on accident, Joby. Get out of here.
Yo,
I didn't purposely eat no dog. That was an accident. At least, I don't know what you stuff in that thing. A duck is too greasy. Okay, I never had a duck. It's greasy. Yeah, I wouldn't know. So it's like a possum or something. It's greasy like a possum. That's our meat. Okay, then let's start laughing. Let's show Joby our bush meat. Now people eat this now. Thanksgiving dinner. I was in the Marine Corps. Look, some girl invited me to Thanksgiving dinner. What is that? This now imagine it. Now this just as bad. Let's say this right here. Images of the American possum. Black people eat. I said possum. I said no. Images of a possum. There you go. Okay, now there we go. That's another one. Now tell me, Joby, would you eat this? See this right here? Would you eat this shit? Let me see. Would you eat this? Now, black people in America in the South eat this shit. I ain't like they had it already fried up on the. I never seen nothing like this. Man, you try not to be rude if I'm walking in. I'm like, she said, oh, we want to thank you for coming for Thanksgiving. I'm like looking at the tables. I'm like, fuck it. I'm rude. I'm LL. I got arrested. What the fuck is that shit there? What is that? Ain't never looked like no turkey. What kind of turkey is that? I never got. What kind of fucked up retarded turkey is this? What is this? Let me show you. I know Joby gonna say hell no. In the South, black people eat this shit right here, Joby. This is probably worse than Ghana bush meat. And look at these things right here, Joby. Would you eat these things?
Let me see your image. Pull in there.
All right, my image.
Oh no.
Would you eat that?
No.
This thing.
Look at the eyes first. Look at the eyes. I prefer the bush meat in Ghana because the eyes ain't scared. Look at the eyes.
I know. Look at this thing. It's a possum. I know my ex-wife them ate this shit when they were kids. They told me, hey, you gotta make sure when people come around selling possums, you don't believe it's a cat. You gotta make sure they got the feet on it. You guys heard that? I was like, what? You gotta make sure they got the feet. You gotta make sure they got the feet. You gotta make sure they got the feet, Joby.
Let me turn the image for the people on TikTok.
Go ahead. You gotta make sure they got the feet. You gotta make sure they got the feet, Joby. You gotta make sure they got the feet. People could be selling you a cat.
Flip the camera, okay. Aya, Kidla, would you eat this? Let us know if you did that.
Would y'all eat that right there? That's awesome. Now somebody had that. I went to Thanksgiving dinner with this girl, and it was on the dinner table. I said, what the fuck is that? Of course, the head was gone. It just had the body. What kind of fucking turkey is this?
You thought it was a turkey?
I know what it was.
What?
I know what it was.
That's funny.
I know what it was. I said, what kind of turkey is this? What is this thing? What is this thing here? What is this? Boy, there ain't no turkey. Stop playing. You don't know that's a possum. I said, one of them fucking rat things? One of them things that be like trash cans and shit in the cut. What? Look at that. Look at all them, like what all them babies hanging on this thing. Oh, motherfuckers be eating these things, man. A possum. Let me get out. Go.
Joe was just start speaking on behalf of Kidla. Kidla, you let us know if you'd really eat that. Shout out to Nginyo. Long time. Hope you go fit. Nice to see you.
Licking his lips. Yeah. I know, man. I couldn't lick.
Didn't know Kidla.
I couldn't lick my lips after seeing that. That shit scared me. Like, what, man? You crazy? I'm not eating that shit. You can't be rude. My mama and them cooked it. My grandma, they all, man, I don't care. I'll get out and leave this motherfucker right now. Rude. I'm not eating that shit.
I'm not eating that. Assuming it's a task. Hell no.
Look at Joe. And Joe from Africa. Talking about Joe from Africa ain't gonna eat that. I'm not eating that shit.
Nah. Yeah, there's someone who's gonna eat it without judging. Trust me. Like, you just brought them the last supper. Like, they've not had in a long time.
Made some
You
bush
know?
meat in my dreams and it was good. Now your dreams are stupid. The chitlins smell like death when they cook. That's right. They stink like that's what Joey's talking about. What we call chitlins, they call them what they are intestines. We got the nickname chitlins intestines. They stink like hell. Because I remember because I married a Southern woman. They eat that shit.
That sounds like omena. We have omena. We have food we call omena. People don't like the smell of it, but it's really good.
But that's what I'm telling you. That's your these are intestines. So,
No. That's small fishes. The small fishes.
I'm just saying what this is. Chitlins are intestines. The stuff like this really nice. So it was one thing, and exactly right, and they make it for Thanksgiving again, right? So I went to the kitchen. I'm like, oh my God, what's that smelling? Is that those chitlin things you're cooking up in there? Oh, I forgot. He's from California. He's too good. He's too good to eat chitlins. He's too good. I said, you damn right. I'm too good to eat this shit. Yeah, right. You ain't gonna say that's right. I'm too good to eat this doodle. The doodle in the pot you got. Yeah, I'm too good. Yep. You gonna shame me. He's too good. He's from California. He's a California Hollywood Negro. He's a Hollywood Negro. Yep. I'm not eating that shit at all. Ever.
No. So no. But anyway, but let me wrap it up here.
Let's love.
Hope Kit is gonna come back tonight. Thank you to 10 Speed for donating. And see you guys.
9 o'clock Eastern time. 6 o'clock. So that's for you, George. That's 6 o'clock p.m. for you, George. You're on the West Coast. So that's 6 o'clock for you, George. They number like what, 11 o'clock there now? Where you at 11:44? So you out there on the West Coast of Canada.
Yeah. Much love. See you guys on my birthday week. Have an amazing weekend.
Oh no. You can't say that. You can't say nothing to Jovi on her birthday week. By God. Watch out. You're cutting you Negroes to pieces.
No, I'm not gonna do that, of course. But anyway, much love. Asante Lisa to everyone who has been with us throughout the week. We appreciate you, those who have been on all the shows.
Yeah, I thought it was like 11 something, George. Yeah, you 3 hours behind us, so country's so big.
Replay. Those who subscribed and those who are our amazing new
You broke out, man. Back in 30 years ago. 10 Speed broke out, man. I can't eat that Joby didn't eat them intestines. I'm not eating none of that. Joby was nice. Joby, it's only nice because Joby be drunk. So Joby all drunk, eating them intestines. That's why she don't eat. Joby be all.
I can't even eat when I'm drunk, man. I don't take.
I'm talking about after you drunk. You told us your hangover. You told us good for a hangover. So you are hungover.
Oh yeah. It's good for a hangover. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, because
when you drink and let's say you don't want to wake up tomorrow with a hangover, you go take the soup of it. The soup of it is really nice. Chili, extra chili.
Oh,
not just chili.
Goodbye.
You need a lot of chili. Yeah, it's good for hangover. So if you really do take maybe 1, 2, 3.
So Joby, we're out the house with that. Get your ass out of here with that shit.
I'll help you around. But anyway, much love, family. See you guys on Monday. Have yourselves a beautiful weekend.
What Central Time? You on Central Time? What do you mean what Central Time? You are okay. I'm gonna let you go. Hold on, Joby. I'm gonna let Joby go. I'm gonna go say Central Time. It's It's 2:46 here, right? So it's 1:46 there, right? You on Central? Oh, does Illinois do daylight saving time? But you still would. But even if you don't change your clock back, it's still 1 o'clock there, right? You on Central? What you mean? What's Central time? You on Central time? You're not on East Coast time. Hold on, let me do this for a second. This get out of here. Let Joby go. Let me see what it is. Let me Chicago in Central time. Let me see. Is Chicago on Central time? Yeah, Chicago's in the Central time zone. Exactly. You on Central time. What you mean with Central time? You, yeah, nearby Milwaukee. Yeah, you in the Midwest. Yeah, Chicago is in the Central time zone. I thought something like maybe think I'm crazy or something. Yeah, you in the Central time zone. What you mean? You don't know different time zones? We got 3 time zones, 10 speed. Look, East Coast time from New York all the way down to Florida. That's East. Central time, Chicago way down to Texas. That's Central. Then you got like with Zoe, Joby's old friend. With Zoe lived there. Zoe was in my Joby. Where Zoe lived, that's Mountain Time. Then where George lived, that's Western Time. We got 4 different time zones in this beat. So much love, family.
John Mosquito says he's also Eastern, and he says he's not gonna make it for tonight's show, but he shall watch the replay of it.
I know he's gonna be tired from eating all that bush meat. Shit.
Nah, he's working tonight. That is what he said. He also said that George, stop lying. You was eating it with rice and peas. Yo, much love.
8 o'clock your time, 10 speed. 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock your time. 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock your time. I'll be when I say 9 p.m. Eastern, you just decide what time you live in. You know what that is. So the time from 9 o'clock Eastern. Like Joby's in East Africa time. They're like 1 hour above. I knew that now. They're like 1 hour in front of Zimbabwe. I thought they were the same time, but Africa does curve. So Zimbabwe time, that's what I knew about Ruby's eye. We're not on the same time. You out in the east part of Africa? Yeah, but we got a curve. We further in. We 1 hour behind Nairobi. I said, okay. Shit, I didn't know. So much love, family.
Much love. It was nice seeing everyone who I've seen tonight. 10 speed,
We're gonna start getting big again. We're gonna get shit. We're gonna get
Derek. Ask you to everyone. Sister Michelle also saw her in the building. I hope
guess who said hi last month to the show? Janet.
Happened to be cheese, and sister Janet.
Janet was there. Janet was here. She's asking about you. How you guys are doing? She said she's fine. Not the date, Joe. When I did the last show on the weekend, she was in there.
Okay.
I told her. I told you guys were asking about her. I said I'm fine. I'm good. To the girls, I'm good. Blah blah. I don't know where the Big Cheese at. I think they got. I hope the Migrants ain't beat them up in Chicago. I don't know where Big Cheese at. We ain't seen Big Cheese in 5 months.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, we ain't seen him since June. That was June last summer because he put me on the phone with him and his mother and his aunt. They got mad at me. They were having a barbecue, a cookout. Who's this crazy man talking against Biden? How dare you? I said, Biden is a wicked racist. God damn it. How dare you, goofy bastards?
Much love, family. Have a good night. See you guys on Monday once again. Remember, tomorrow Demores has a show from 12 p.m. I don't know what's the time that.
Okay, that's 12 p.m. means that's 4 o'clock in the morning. Anybody? 4 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. That's 3 o'clock in the morning with 10 speed. Anybody go 3 o'clock in the morning? That's Central time. 2 o'clock in the morning, Zoe's time, Mountain time, and 1 o'clock in the morning, George time. And George is up at 1 o'clock in the morning still. George is here. But anyway, you guys catch the replay.
Well, for those who shall be catching the replay, I hope you can kindly. I personally enjoy the Demores show. I'm always here and I always want to intervene, but I love the show. So I hope you guys also enjoy.
Don't you? I always think you're outside. I only hear when you say wrap it up. Time to wrap it up.
I'm always here. I'm always just here listening. I love the Morris conversation, Saturday's conversation. They're really nice, educative, and historical as well. So You guys, much love. See you guys tomorrow. Joe Mosquito, asante sana for being with us. And to everyone who's with me on TikTok, Kidla El Nante 1980. Nice to see you. And to everyone who has been with me on also on the Mr. Blackout Fire TikTok. See you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend.
Be amazing, family. Peace.
Yep. Peace.
Peace. Let me end this thing. Go with the end of the TikTok. I'm getting this thing here. End.